am not going to let that man see me unwashed. I'm going to take a shower.
All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to session 118 of Forgotten Genesis Season 2.
Hi, Super.
Been a minute. Been a crazy week. We've all had some crazy stuff going on. Am I as prepared for this session as I fucking wanted to be?
No. You're doing a great job, though. Hi,
It's been a crazy week. But regardless, let's get into it. Because if nothing else, I either am incredibly prepared, incredibly proficient at bullshitting that I seem prepared, or very clear on communicating that I'm not prepared and doing my best to bullshit something that tries to be fun anyway. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail. I digress.
We're going to get him backwards.
Let's try to have some fun anyway.
Hold on. If no, do say no. Your mom got to get old people shooting the food.
Should I even bother trying to write down the day in my, like the in-game day in my notes while we're in this space? Probably not, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's up to go. I think it's a helpful thing, but I don't think it's going to be a great thing.
It's more useful for outside of this place.
Right, that's what I figured. Like whenever I am able to get that note, I try to get it. But right now, I feel like time's kind of not worth marking right now.
I am going to take a shower somewhere in the middle of it. So I'm going to wait till Amber gets back, but I'm going to go take a shower as soon as she gets back. So I don't want to hear any complaints, please. I need a shower.
Okay, 13. This question's a little bit moot, given that some of the player characters have done this mid-campaign and are still adventuring despite it. But I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
Does your character ever want to settle down with a spouse, children, house, etc.? These are usually considered epilogue conditions of the adventurer.
Already doing that.
Yeah, exactly. For just about all of your characters.
Yeah, except for... Oh, Blue's kind of like... Snips is always busy in a different dimension half the time.
Still a little bit of a settled relationship in its own right.
I like them. They're cute.
Yeah.
But, like, they can cross space and time to each other, so it's not a big deal. It's also because of how they were born. Time don't have no rules with those fae.
Yeah, for once I don't think I've rolled that one, and it's kind of fucking ironic that I roll that after, again, a bunch of player characters kind of already have that in the middle of their story. So I suppose let's go ahead and focus on a portion of that phrasing, the settle down portion, meaning adventuring finally just stops.
Oh, no. Angel's gonna be adventuring until her ages. Yeah, no. What do you mean, stop adventuring?
It is a dangerous occupation, and often people do it to resolve extreme problems before inevitably retiring.
I mean, I've got to solve all the problems.
Vinestra said adventuring in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Upside down, sideways.
That's more settling in than settling down, to be fair.
Dragon forms.
That's only if you're a dude, though. You get to settle on.
Yeah, settling. The girls settle around.
One of the player characters has a familiar that specifically has a business to sell things that allow you to do that when not a dude.
I mean, I don't need to know that right now. I'm kind of just in a mood.
This is very much kind of a moot point situation.
It really is.
So, in the spirit of settling down for Angel, that's a no. For Violet, is that a no, or is that a yes?
So it's like,
could Violet see herself retiring from this situation?
The question is, have I collected enough things for my hoard yet?
That implies there is a condition around which it may occur.
There is, but it's not going to be in this lifetime. Be well into my twilight years by the time I get everything I want.
Does Blue have an answer for that question?
As long as I can beat people up for the rest of my life, we're fine.
To be fair, you can technically do that without ever being an adventurer.
And
So,
technically being an art day, I
that
mean,
applies.
as long as I'm getting paid.
All right, moving that on to Avery.
Yes, absolutely yes.
He's like, I'm done. As soon as we're done.
Avery
I'm
was done adventuring the moment he got the illness, basically. Like, he's like, all right, that's enough adventuring, except now I have to to resolve this.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
He wants to own a small tinkerer's shop with Aiko to help raise Rune and Haven.
Great timing
I
for a
could-
phone
I could
call.
see
God
him-
bless it. Hold on.
Family. Can't live with them?
And that's it.
Can't live with them. Yep.
Okay.
Hi, are you busy? Are you streaming? Yes. Okay, but at least she's quick about it.
Look at the time!
You don't have eyeballs.
Or text, for God's sake!
My mother has gotten better at texting.
My family is terrible at it.
Calling implies immediate urgency.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite thing is that I got in the past 2 years? One of my favorite things is the stupid fly killer.
Oh, I fucking love electric fly swatters. We have one. Despite how strong their shock is, they never seem to run out of batteries. It's great.
Well, this one has one of those rechargeable cords, so you can literally put it on the cord, and then the next morning it's all ready to go.
Moving that question on to Piper if Amber is available.
She's not, Joe.
She's not, okay. Moving that question on to
shit.
Vanessa.
1 sec.
𝕲𝖊𝖓 said the copious amount of art that I have that says, yes, she would settle down and have kids.
It's
Fair
just so
enough.
much.
The art ordains it to be fate. Now, first things first, I believe last session I said we were going to initially pick up with Angel and the delegation. So where exactly did we leave off with that?
I thought you were supposed to pick up with the people in Temple, but okay.
Were we? Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, because we ended with the delegation. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Still can't believe I lost the notes on the guy. All right. Well, either way, you guys were, I believe, at the moment, last kind of checked in at the fast food joint after, hello, Lord Starlight. Welcome in. After basically checking in on the guy, and getting the 101 on what the situation is in Tempo, this time-displaced mess. Yes, you have a question, Lord Starlight. Which question might that be? D&D party accidentally aided the heretics on unleashing a greater demon. How strong is it? Well, Depends on the greater demon. That is albeit a bit of a vague question, all things considered with that. Orcus, most likely. That's not a greater demon. That is your party being very fucked. Good luck with that.
As far as being a secondary DM for another campaign, dude, how did you ask for death, and in what language did you ask for it?
That's not poking the bear. That's
That's screwing the bear's wife.
Let's give it this. Let's do this one. Jesus saves. Y'all all roll death saves. Let's put it that way.
a little bit, you know.
It depends on what level they are, though. I mean, considering the CR rating and how many players there are.
Yeah, your group's a little bit very, very fucked. But hey,
What level are they at? What level are they at?
You know, I would think, based on the implications of that question, just off of the pure raw curiosity, I'm assuming it's a fairly low level party. I could be wrong, but
I'm just
Orcus ain't no
asking.
slouch.
I'm waiting for him to respond.
You have the statue that could destroy the entire Everhope, your D&D base camp, and your friends stole...
This is what we call murder hobos. This is what we call stupidity.
No, that doesn't strictly say murder hobos. It's a friend stole the statue. Now, that just might be the friend being like, maybe the statue was made of gold, and maybe they were being a thief. Right? There's a difference between being a bit of a chaos player and being a murder hobo. I'm leaning toward that. That said, Orcus seems to have come out as a result of that engagement.
Which usually means...
Not necessarily the player's intention, but it is nonetheless the results.
Okay, I'm also going to ask this. How did your DM look when you did it? Or did you decide to do this multiple times, and this is a result of you basically screwing them over multiple times? That is another question.
Okay, you guys had been talking about not using it and cleansing the statue. We tried, and he did cleanse most of his stolen items. Okay, so that phrasing's a little bit weirdly put. So let me be perfectly clear. You guys were going to do a cleansing ritual on the statue. He went to steal the statue, and you guys ended up cleansing his stolen items instead of the statue? But the statue was too strong to be cleansed. Okay. So, yeah. Sounds like some kind of, narrative anchor point that the DM placed there as a barring for the summoning of this mighty powerful monster person.
Okay,
That being Orcus, the father of undeath.
Okay, I'm going to give you this. Let me give you this thing. You know that spicy red button? It's there. It's there. You can see it. It's there. You know that spicy red button. Like, this is like you walking into a treasure trove and you saying, "Oh, look, there's a red button. I should totally not press the red button," then turning around and pressing the red button.
To be fair,
I think we're also trying to judge if this was planned by the DM for this to be like a BBEG for them to work towards. That could also be a thing.
Depends also on the format of the campaign. Are you guys kind of working toward a major plotline and a storyline, or is this kind of more of a...
Or is it like a one-shot?
A one-shot, or is it more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like more of like a sandbox storyline. Because in all cases...
Sandbox sucks so bad.
Well, depends on how you do it, right?
No,
if you handle it poorly... Yeah, you played in a bad sandbox. You played in a litter box. It's a little different.
It was a litter box. It was a litter box. So much piss and shit everywhere.
A proper sandbox is the players will decide where the story goes, and the DM caters to that flavor to the absolute maximum of their ability.
Yep.
Vinestra said, sorry to interrupt. Shall we get back into it?
Supposed to be plan B for our smaller villain that should not be used.
Gotcha.
Okay, no, my question is here's the obvious question. This is the person who gets pissed off at their characters regularly, their players anyways. And not from lack of trying to lead them easily through the plot line. Did you decide to piss off the DM?
This feels more like narrative consequences than pissing off the DM to me.
No,
honestly.
No. I put shit like this sometimes when y'all decided to act like idiots.
Okay, if your friend pissed off the DM, that's another story. If the DM is dishing out, okay, here's the mechanical consequences for a player who is not matching the vibe of the rest of the table, that's a whole other story.
No, but
And
that's the point.
And
No,
I feel like
y'all.
that maybe should have been a conversation had above the table before mechanics were introduced to try and correct it.
Hold on. I'm asking the player right now. Like, Starlight, is it literally the guy decided to piss off the DM and fucked around and find out?
Yeah, sure. Let's be perfectly clear on what's going on there. Is this a fucked around to find out situation with the player, or is this a fucked around to find out situation with the characters and the choices?
I've experienced both.
Because those are two distinctively different vibes as far as what it means for the player and DM relationship. Fuck around, find out, and it has a character consequence is a significantly better thing. It was linked to one of our party members' backstories, and no, it's the character, and we are having a blast. Okay, so it's a character thing. Okay, so it's not...
Okay, that's fine. Good,
not an adversarial situation. Okay.
I'm letting you know, I've had players literally do the thing, so I put the thing in there. I don't ever, make it a horrible consequence, but y'all decide to fuck out and find out, so...
Right. Okay, yeah, so as a character thing...
Sometimes finding out can be fun.
It is. It can be fun.
It's really fun to be the player that presses that red button to get something going, especially if everybody else is on board for that.
Yeah, it's only if they're on board.
But it has to be, it has to be a discussion, or at least some form of discussion, even if it's a quick discussion.
Or if not a discussion, like an expectation that everybody is fine with, right?
Everybody's okay with. Yeah, the whole thing is I've had we all have been in my games. We get some players who are like, I'm just gonna sit here and not do anything.
Yeah, there have been instances in our games where something has happened where we thought it was by and large group-wide expectation being satisfied, and then come to find out after the session, there was one player that was actually as a person pissed that something happened. But it's healthy to have the actual conversations rather than try and dole it out indirectly. But either way, let's see here.
I as a DM, because I'm a girl, sometimes people don't listen to me. They're like, oh, you won't do anything to me, and I'm like, buddy.
Yeah, that's a problem with those people, not your
Buddy,
gender.
I have the CR. No. I'm letting you know they made it about my gender.
Yeah, that's a problem with those people.
A second arc right now, since we ventured to Hongyun, or however you say that, Chinese-based.
Vinestra said, shall we start the D&D session?
That'd be
Absolutely.
Good. It'd be great talking with you, Lord Starlight, but I think we gotta lock in and immerse ourselves now.
We're going to get into some RP. Now, that said, as far as the situation with that statue, sounds like some narrative consequences are about to be doled out, and I think I'll be plenty excited for you to come back with whatever stories unfold from that.
My other suggestion is if one of you has a teleport item, this is one of those moments to drop the item and teleport the flip out of there.
Very, very true. Because at the moment, honestly, if I was the DM, the moment that red button got pressed, my brain's immediately going...
I can't order.
yesterday. Well, good luck with that. Now, let's get into it. Now, for the NPC whose name I completely forgot, apparently left in notes that got either purged digitally or in a notebook that I fucking lost, I'll find it in the VOD from last week when I go through it.
I'm going to remind you what his name was, and I didn't like the fact he used it.
What was his name? You don't need to message it to me. You can just straight up say it.
Nope.
No, that was not his name.
That was his original name. He had a nickname that he went by.
Okay, I'm not going to address him by that name, assuming that, again, there was something else I had in the VOD.
That was his original name. He went by a nickname. I'm also reminding you.
Wait, no, there was a middle name that he went by. He preferred to go by his middle name, which was Xander, but then he had a really basic front and last name.
That was the first name. That was the first name.
No, Xander was not the first name. Xander was his middle name that he chose to go by.
No. The one I just typed out is this first name.
Okay. Well, for right now, I'll address him as Xander to go ahead and keep things clean, and I'll again go through the VOD to go ahead and recover the notes that I and my brain both lost.
I don't want that name, Joe.
If it is the same or if it is different, I will find it when I backtrack, and we'll get things cleared up, okay?
Okay.
All right. Newbie D&D players and newbie DMs, honestly, hope that goes well for you guys. Oh, just newbie players. All right, well, all the same. Hope it goes well for you guys, and I hope you guys are having fun. Hope you guys enjoy this. We are definitely more narratively focused game. We don't roll dice too often in our sessions unless it's something that I've specifically set up for combat. So, I digress. Newbie players, veteran DM. Cool, all right.
It's a good thing you have a veteran DM. That's a good thing.
Yeah. That means plenty of patience for you guys as you kind of settle in and get adjusted to the order and the chaos alike.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and go into the game, Joe.
Absolutely.
I know you like talking to the chat.
That was me getting into it. So, with that, you guys are there with Xander after you, Blue, have just made an agreement with him to become a disciple of yours.
He's got his own flask, too.
He now has his own flask under Blue, Blue, Azure Saffron, whichever it is. Either way, epic level characters, Archfey, making a pact with someone to become a monk rather than a warlock, kind of overriding the existing warlock pact that he has with some problem characters in this little time-displaced town known as Tempo. Avery and your family are here, having witnessed this, as are Vanestra, and I believe Violet is present here as well. Or did she end up staying behind?
Violet is there. Violet's not pleased.
Okay. All right. Well, with all of that together, let's see here. Xander leads the lot of you back out to the lamp market, going northward a bit, where the winds have kind of settled back down and people do start to gently filter back out in these sort of disparate scatterings of village buildings and forgotten ancient structures that have been cobbled together in this stitched together miasma and mess of time. Kind of beginning to get a sense and an awareness of this group of, more stranded characters, it seems, here in this town. And it's people of varying ages and varying peoples, but notably there is a sort of small presence kind of sequestered in behind some of these people of some children. In notably poor health in every instance of every child that you observe. Sort of varying levels of sort of near starvation and the effects of malnutrition that kind of come with that. They're nonetheless hanging behind windows and just keeping a cautious, keen eye on a lot of you. The smell here has also changed. There's almost a sandy mustiness that was present when you were here and the wind was buffeting around, but now as everything has settled, it seems like the air is almost stuffy, stale, stagnant, like it hasn't properly cycled. Like even just through this portion of this entire town, it's like being stuck in a single room for too long, too many days without opening a door or a window. The air feels thick in the wrong way.
Weird. So, when we look at this map, set up a way of getting around. Let's get this all set up. Blue's making dinner for everyone at this point, serving up dinner.
Yeah. A fresh and a hot meal in this place is, I'd say, the biggest thing that has people kind of beginning to make their way out of their sort of chosen shelters here and begin to still nonetheless cautiously filter out.
Saffron, I'm letting you know, this is the thing where he sees her, this is what she does. She starts to pull her hair down. This first Blue is long hair at this point, considering she's been growing out her hair a little bit. She takes the comb and she makes it even longer. And what she does is she cuts it at several parts, and it turns into several different types of stuff, just enough to make stew.
Yeah.
So there's potato, there's that kind of thing. Each segment of hair that she cuts becomes a different thing, and then she puts the comb back away.
Yeah. If you would go ahead and give me, are you proficient with cook's utensils?
Yes.
Okay, great. Go ahead and give me a cook's utensils roll. This will be using wisdom, as you do with just a normal cooking vibe. And that'll be with your proficiency bonus and everything else. Anybody who would like to assist in this may do so. Any assistance granted from members of the party will initially grant advantage, and then additional +2s as you go, of course.
16 plus 12?
16 plus 12. All right, 28. Fantastic.
That's without my proficiency. I don't know what my proficiency bonus is.
At level 25, because I decided to get weird with epic levels, I believe everybody is a +8 right now. So
it's a +20 to a 16.
If you are proficient, then you get that +8. If you have expertise, then you get a +16.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I have expertise in cook's utensils because that's what she was made for.
Gotcha. All right. So 23 then +16. That'll bring you to 29, 39. Yeah.
Most of my characters live by the anyone can cook situation. Not everyone should, but everyone can.
Yeah, very much making your way like Remy and Ratatouille. Particularly at your size and chosen coloration, it is very comparable, given that Blue is a tiny-ass fairy. How tall is Blue normally?
6 inches tall.
Yeah, okay, so definitely comparable. If anything, you're actually a little shorter than Remy. But nonetheless, it is a very... It's a Ratatouille-esque scene, like when Remy initially starts putting together that stew from the beginning of the movie, or I should say correcting linguine stew, with the exception of there's also pixie dust and general actual flight occurring rather than just flourished jumping to try and avoid a rat falling in. And
it's really kind of funny because she'd also pull out that giant cast iron pot too.
Yeah.
To see.
Of which people do filter out, realizing that they're about to be fed with, various implements. These are, bowls and sacks and varying kinds of containers made of metals, of wood, from what you can tell, again, looking into ancient human histories, plastics. These are whatever these people can get together that are mostly clean for basically gathering this up. But again, it is nonetheless collected very simply and in a very straightforward fashion. Through that, what you provide people with the sort of river running behind you and at your back in this weird dimensional disconnected place, as creepy and unsettling and as unnatural as the vibes are that hang in the air, you feel like, at least for these people, and at least for yourselves for a moment, just being able to get some actual warm food into you, some satiety and some settled stomachs, you settle into what feels like some momentary peace that you've created.
I'm letting you know, Violet's in big old wolf form. Big dog.
Yeah. Which, out of sheer caution, there's a number of people that are giving Violet just a little bit of a berth. Purely because she's in that form. Similarly, just out of sheer scale, people are very much treating Venestra in the same fashion.
I have a question. How are the kids treating her, considering she looks like a giant fluffy dog? She's a soft, fluffy dog.
Roll me... Oh, man. I'll say a flat charisma check, because this is not you necessarily trying to actively persuade them to approach, as much as just how approachable do you seem being what you are.
That's a 27, Joe.
With a flat charisma.
It's a 19 plus my charisma bonus, which is a +8 for Violet.
Okay, yeah, you got some heavy bumps on that. 27. Okay. All right, yeah. Some of the kids do, out of cautious curiosity, approach, and it again, while it for the most part seems to be displaced humans from sort of varying eras, there's also smatterings of other races, some kids that seem elven, some kids that seem gnomish in scale, a number of dwarven children, given especially how densely packed with the population of 𝕱𝖊𝖓 is. It is notably strong in that concentration of peoples. Nothing that out in the wider world would be considered wide or unusual, insofar as things like tieflings or dragonborn or genasi or anything like that. Notably, it is lacking in the more exotic peoples, even at least among these children.
Violet's gonna look and see. Don't even approach her face or anything like that. Trying to get who gets the bravest. It's like one who gets brave, because I really want to see what happens.
There's kids that are getting brave enough to kind of approach and kind of touch and lean into the fur. There's one kid that seems to almost pass out standing up, leaning against one of your hind legs. Another kid who ends up climbing on top of her to try and climb up onto you.
She's laying down, so that's possible. She's laying full in dog position while there's a bowl of stew in front of her. She's lip-lapping at that.
These kids are essentially starting to kind of treat you like a big fluffy jungle gym pretty quickly.
What she's used to.
Yeah, with what diminished energy their condition still provides, but it is still nonetheless a boisterousness of energy that they're very clearly presenting, as you've made no attempt to shy away from making yourself essentially inviting and approachable.
The only thing she thinks over, like she looks over at Halcyon, just make sure they don't pull my ears too much.
I'm keeping an eye on them.
I have a question. What is Xander's reaction to seeing the big, fluffy dog?
There is still a lack of shock on his face, just due to the sort of weirdness of the environment that he's grown accustomed to over these many years. But there is a soft bemusement and an almost relaxation that you see kind of cascade over his shoulders to a point in just seeing these kids experience a moment of joy in lieu of the programmed caution they've had to deal with, as so many people here have been feeling like they've been living in just like one of the soft fugue nightmares of dreaming about being in some empty graveyard, as that is very much the feeling of this place at some points in some places, even between paces and steps and between buildings. That feeling is stronger in some areas than others.
Violet is going to look over at Avery. We have to get them all out. This place has to either dispel or something. This is ridiculous. I'm letting you know this is the first. I think Avery. I know that you shared minds with Violet and just how lost she was. That same kind of like panting that a dog does when it gets nervous is what's happening and it's occurring. That nervousness that dogs get. Just a low level panting.
That's an absolutely valid reaction. This place seems to permeate with that energy.
It's that same stuck energy that she had before when she was stuck in the abyss.
𝕲𝖓 said, I mean, we could transport them out.
Not with what's watching us. I figured that out. We need to get to his parents first, because whatever is attacking them is attacking this entire space. I suggest we either get moving or we get a night's rest and then we start moving. Because we need to we do have a time limit.
Okay. Avery, I want you to roll me a d20.
A d20.
Oh, cool.
Let me know if you get anything at or below a 4.
Okay, I got a 9, so we're good.
You're good. Okay. Continue on. All right. You feel the wind almost start to kip up for the briefest moment, but it doesn't turn into a full-on shift of weather and a full-on gust of wind that has anybody immediately rushing back to their houses and huts, though you do notice everybody sort of stiffen with tension for the briefest of instances as the air settles itself back down.
Did anybody bring your doorknob? You could send them through Angel's portal. It should work. At least for the people. I don't think we can get back through the same way, and maybe we can, but it only works for once a day. We can get these humans out.
𝕲𝖓 said, or we could take them to my pocket dimension.
That's an option as well.
Or my pocket mansion.
That's option. Well, yours, if I remember correctly, is Joe, pocket, the mansion only works when it's open, yes?
I believe so, but let me see. Venestra did make some alterations to it for a specific enchanted item, which also altered the way the spell functioned. Let me see here. I think I gotta scroll a little farther down to find where that is. All right. If I'm hard-pressed to find it, Venestra, I do believe you still have the notes as well, if you can go ahead and forward those to me again. But I'm fairly certain it still follows the normal mansion rules of it is temporary insofar as the space exists as long as the mansion actively does. But once the mansion no longer exists, then the contained space within also collapses, technically. Though items within it, at least, will still remain, unlike the normal mansion.
Blue pulls out her... We can either put them inside of Venestra's dimension, or we can send them home to Angel immediately.
I found Venestra's notes here.
There we go. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Though Venestra's dimension may be probably the strongest vibe, let's see. Magnificent dimensional mansion. Large ornate cubes, mithril, All right. User can either hold the key. While things created in the mansion can't leave, what are brought in and are in there can leave. The doorway can be summoned. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So the main things are things created in the mansion can leave, unlike the sort of impermanence presented in the normal spell. And there's also expanded space within. So it would prove to be basically a temporary mass shelter in here, though it would not prove to be an actual demi-plane, a separate dimensional space in its own right.
Got it.
At least not one that maintains itself once dispelled.
Then yeah, probably Venestra's place is best.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and copy those notes also into my notes.
All right. So Venestra's...
Okay, so Violet's gonna ask Xander before they decide to do this, okay?
Yeah.
If we move these people out of this space, will they come after these people and pull them back into this space? Will there just be a yo-yo effect?
I don't know that anybody's tried, at least. Anybody that has tried, I don't know that I ever saw them again. So unfortunately, it's a big-ass I don't know.
If we sever them through the heaven, they can't really... Abyssal people can't reach the heaven. So I'm saying if we use Angel's door, we center them through a heaven, they will be protected from the abyss. That's the only reason I'm suggesting the doorknob. We only get one a day on that doorknob. It's up to you, Avery. And we could send them with Venestra, but the problem is I wouldn't want to
with
corrupt
bridge
Venestra's
options,
space.
anybody who would like to here can roll an Arcana check. I'll say that for that will apply here for understanding of planar mechanics.
Natural 20 for Violet, considering she does planar mechanics. Great.
I rolled a 2, which would put me at, for Arcana, 7.
Well, for Arcana, for Violet, that puts her at a 36. Her sheets are still accurate.
Vinestra said natural 20 as well.
Yeah, it was a natural 20.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. So I'd say everybody here has enough magical training and awareness to understand, or at least to piece together, at least as far as the magical pros and cons of the choices here. First of all, Avery's option may be a perfectly secure area as temporary shelter for these people, but it would still be here, technically speaking. Vinestra's option is a demi-plane, which means it is a sort of separated fugue plane in and of itself, which resides tangentially within this place, though not actively within it in the sort of same accessible thing. Using Angel's Door, however, to get to her heaven, the big difference there is it's not providing a gateway into a pocket dimension or a tangentially attached demiplane. It's providing a bridge to a greater plane of existence.
Yes, but it would sever them from the abyssal influence that we're dealing with.
So what part of the... I'm trying to find the part in the spell where it says that it physically exists in the world and isn't a separate space.
I believe, actually, with the way yours works specifically, is it operates as a temporary demiplane that collapses after it closes.
That's how the main
But that wouldn't make sense because it says that, let's see, when the mansion is not in use, the servants can continue to work and do tasks.
I believe that's specifically balanced for items rather than people. Let me double check again here.
Okay.
Let's see. Allows the casting of Magnificent Mansion with a 7th level spell. Expansion of room size. While things that are created in the mansion can't leave, things that are brought into the mansion can. A doorway if summoned causes bigger than the activity. Servants can continue to work and do tasks. I'd say, well, that's... With the way Magnificent Mansion works, servants are not tangible people. They are unseen servants, which are sort of an intangible spell mechanic basis of function, right? And they can only operate within a certain limited capacity. So I think that's also the limit by which that operates.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to ask the question again, because we went around trying to find about spell question.
So,
Since it's... Go ahead.
You're also trying to get an answer to a natural 20.
Yeah. So the natural 20 here is more so just about knowledge about how this functions. As far as it being a bridge straight to another plane of existence, a bridge straight to Angel's Heaven, that would essentially act similarly to a straight-up gate spell, which you don't know whether or not that would function properly here. It might. It might not. You would have to try it to find out. The big thing is it's
if we remove the kids from the situation, it gives us less people to worry about.
Right. Which you do know, at least as far as stability here, Vinestra's Pocket Dimension and Angel's Heaven are probably both good ways to do that. As far as, however, getting to Angel's Heaven with that being likely something closer to a gate spell, it'll be a question of if that functions properly. And it might, or it might not. Given that apparently, again, there's indications that straight up teleporting out of here don't seem to function normally. Including, and gate would be an instance of something that would constitute a variation on normal teleportation, whereas hopping into a demi-plane doesn't, because it's indoors the same as it's outdoor, so to speak.
It's a plane within a plane, right?
Yeah. To leave a demi-plane, you would pop back out in the same place that you entered.
Could they enter Violet's stomach as a forward space?
I don't think we established that Violet has a stable dimensional pocket inside of her body like a 𝕲𝖊𝖓 does.
No, dragons in traditional D&D, okay, in order to carry their horde from place to place, when they are trying to move, swallow their horde and move it.
Right. That's usually the instance of like a secondary stomach, and they're carrying heavy things like gold and whatnot. Long term, I don't know that would be strictly habitable. You could certainly try, but that comes with risks of you are still swallowing people, and they are entering into what is not necessarily a stable biome.
Okay, using the old dragon's knowledge, would I know how to do that?
Roll me a nature check. You have a lower DC for this being a dragon as Violet, right? Especially having that completed brain, given what you went questing for, to go ahead and piece that back together.
That's an 18 plus, you said a nature check would be, Violet only has a 12 on her nature check, so it would be a 32? Or no, it's 18 plus 12 is 30. I can do things. I can math.
30. Eating and moving hordes. That in particular, historically that was more so for moving like the physical objects of a horde that nobody would otherwise move away with. And that was also done in such a way that no outside things could then get into that stomach, meaning it's a sealed environment, meaning there would not be circulation of air.
That's not what the definition says inside the book. Okay.
Again, you could certainly do it. It's just this would have to be sort of a short-term transportation solution.
Well, but the problem is I'm trying to figure out a way to make the gate work. Because you can use gate inside of that kind of a space. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
In a horde, in a dragon's stomach, you can horde out. You can gate out, from what I've read. So, that's an option. Violet's trying to find a way around it.
Yeah, the issue there is, again, inside of Dragon's Stomach would not be considered a separate planar space from just where you're at. It's still inside the Dragon's Stomach, inside of Tempo, and it's just... It would be like saying, okay, I'm inside of a burlap sack, and that would be a separate place from Tempo. It's not really what you're dealing with.
Okay, you're going to have to explain to me how that works, considering how much they have to carry in their stomachs, Joe. Considering it is considered a secondary interdimensional space in most written texts. But if not, that's fine. Because they have to be able to know where all their horde is. It's like some weird magic bull honky.
That was Amber.
when you gravity it back.
Okay, she was deafened for a bit. So, I'm assuming something going on with the kids and whatnot.
You're...
As far as any instances of strictly laid out demi-planes, particularly in creature stomachs, the only one strictly laid out is 𝕱𝖔𝖗𝖊𝖓 that I'm seeing here. Even in older editions of D&D, I'm not seeing anything like that for dragons specifically. As far as dragons literally eating their hordes to move them, they literally ate their hordes to move them. That's what I'm seeing and understanding here.
Internet went down. Storm being a dick.
Okay.
Restarting. Give her a few.
Gotcha.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, Joe. Let's just keep moving on. We've been sitting here waiting for rules to come across and rules to come across and rules to come across. It's been red tape.
That's not the point of what I'm doing here. I appreciate you wanting to try and find a good way to look around this, and I'm trying to look into ways to be like, okay, yeah, we can figure that out. It's just dragon anatomy specifically is not something that really...
It's talked about in the books, Joe. It's fine.
Okay. Everybody, welcome back from the BRB, and also welcome back, Amber. You were disconnected for a bit, and she's muted again. Okay, so I haven't gotten a chance to do the roleplay question with her
I know,
yet.
it's just because I don't know how uppy my microphone is.
Okay. So, let me go ahead and get the roleplay question going for you real quick so that you can get your inspiration die for that. First of all, we'll start this with Piper then. Does your character ever want to, quote, settle down, with a spouse, children, house, etc.? Piper kind of already is halfway in that, just venturing at the same time, to be fair, but...
Yeah, I was gonna say, she already semi-has. It's just we got the water brewing, we got the work.
Yep, same question forward, of course, to Bruce.
He's essentially a nanny. Yes, he's settled down.
Yeah, he's kind of already there, isn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say, he just occasionally gets thrown at shit with his hammer.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right. So, as far as moving these kids, you guys have a few options. As far as if you wanted to try and do it now, the safest maybe option is Vinistra's, demi-plane. That's if you guys wanted to try it now. That said, there's still other things to find out. So if you guys want to do that now, you can. It's really up to you guys. At the moment, you've kind of, at the very least, brought the population here a little bit more peace, having given them some full stomachs and some hot food, which they haven't had in a fucking minute. That is for damn sure. So, with that settled in that moment of respite granted, what is your next move?
Avery, being kind of a selfish being, is more interested in trying to save his parents and learn more about his problems than try to address other people's problems.
Fair.
Trust me, we're aware. The entire party's aware.
Given the environment
Not a lot.
the party has brought themselves to, it's a justified motivation.
I had to walk away for a minute because the girls were being not sleepy butts.
I'm letting you know that has been a conversation between my 3 characters on a regular basis in the background. The mentality of the other players, as far as the other main characters go.
I have chats for that in case you ever want to make them visible to the DM at some point, so I can get some insight into what your characters think about between each other. But that's for later, I guess.
Well, they all know the motivations that Avery has, and they know how he reacts. So it didn't take much to figure that out. Considering that they take care of kids on a regular basis, it's the same thing as a person who's only had themselves to function with for a long time and didn't have family units and made it. And then they had the family unit that was like separated or disjointed.
Which, to be fair, that does kind of sum up what Avery and Iko were dealing with. Self-reliance in a disjointed family unit at best.
So, like, as far as Angel, Violet, and Blue are concerned, his selfishness is warranted. But because of the situation where we're in with the war and the situation that we're in as a group and the world at large, Avery is probably going to be one of those people, as long as I can live in it and it doesn't screw me over, I'm fine.
Vinestra said Vey and Amira are going to get the people into the pocket dimension safely. While they are safe, shall we get to tracking down Avery's parents that treasure 𝕲𝖊𝖓?
That'd be good.
Okay, Vinestra, as you open your pocket dimension to allow, I'm assuming you guys are focusing on the children first here, of which there's about 12 kids. But I want you to go ahead and, Vinestra, give me a d20 roll, if you would, please. We're looking for anything higher than a 4.
Nat 20.
Okay. Notably, the entry into your pocket dimension, while it usually goes smoothly, the transition in almost visibly looks like them trying to step through something viscous initially before they manage to sort of push themselves through that barrier. But manage to get through it, they do. Notably, the time dilation that's usually present in your pocket dimension is not occurring. The time both out and inside seem to be running in line with each other. All right. After best you guys can collect in time for yourselves, maybe about an hour, you manage to, for the most part, clear out this populated portion of Tempo, kind of on the Lamp District side. Whether or not the other side has any populace to speak of, again, people seem to, for the most part, stay away from it. But let's see here. Now, beyond that, there's still the, at the moment, absent statue at the center of the Lamp District. In the sort of void where that statue was present. The river to your immediate, just relative to your own direction, west. And beyond that, what is at least labeled on the maps that you have access to be the Sentry District across that river. You also still have access to Xander as your guide for whichever direction you choose to go, for him to at least do his best in his well-practiced college try to help you navigate appropriately.
Vinestra said, "Do we know where Avery's parents were last seen?"
Avery could be overlaying the map right now with the original map that he has right now from all the stuff we looked at.
Easy enough to do. And as far as, again, the last reference that you have for where they had gone, in essentially, again, their attempts to connect with each other, it seems they were each respectively between their separate entries headed toward the Sentry District. So did end up crossing that river base, though apparently did manage to get split up. One of the places where temporal motion seems to also cause spatial displacement are along those crossings. Crossing one, you may find yourself on any of the other two.
Violet's going to look over at Avery and say, maybe you should look over the map that Xander's providing so you can correspond where the locations are, because we have their location. In the bare minimum, at least. And she looks over at him and she says, "If it was my mother, I would be just as worried as you are right now. We need to find her. We need to find your father. And if this monster is bigger than both of us, we probably need to work on it all together. So whatever you want, Avery will do. Okay?"
So you have 3 crossing options for crossing that riverway. You can cross right here in the Lamp District. This is going to be your most treacherous option, as it's basically crossing from one shattered point in this town to another, and it doesn't have a clear bridgeway. You can go to the southern end of the Lamp Market. This is where this is toward the end of the Lamp Market where Xander had his own place, so at least you know, based on Xander's own familiarity with navigation, that's easy enough ground to cover to go ahead and try to cross that way. Then there's also the northern end. It's a little bit farther to trudge through, more buildings to deal with, but it's also, at least functionally, a little bit farther away from also that central statue that kind of blips in and out, and it seems to be at least the most shielded in terms of sort of almost cave formations from the sort of temporal winds. So your 3 options are immediate closeness, familiar navigability, or shielding from the temporal winds. The more temporal winds you have to deal with, the more likely that your pendants may break. Amber's internet dropped again.
Is everybody taking another bio break?
No, I'm going to hit the private talk button real quick. BRB. Blah, 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 blah.
Welcome back from the BRB.
From the BRB, yes. Also,
We know English.
hello again, Lord Starlight, and, well, you know, hope that 2 hours of unpaid labor went well for you. Better-ish, you know. For those that don't know, at least among my common viewer base, I have brain damage and, of course, some health issues therein that come with it, which also means that, you know, on the rare occasion when it spikes up, the DM ends up having the memory of a goldfish, which, as a DM, is a wonderful little combination and side effect, which means I need to be a little bit more effective taking notes, but hey, it is what it is. Right now, we're back down to manageable levels, and so we're okay. Luckily, no light sensitivity, which is actually abnormal. I can stare at this fucking ring light without problems. Usually the headaches...
Maybe don't. Maybe don't do that, though.
Maybe not.
The point is, these headaches usually severely aggravate my astigmatism, which at the moment, they're not doing. So we're good. But in case they do, I actually bought some clip-on sunglasses for this size of glasses, which means suddenly I can deal with the lighting without having to deal with the lighting, you know what I mean? But we'll get to that later. Either way, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Even though that's not technically what we're doing. I don't know, I would love to attempt to do a Wuxia-style campaign at some point, even if it's like a mini campaign, though I would have to definitely...
Eldritch Time Huns.
Yeah, I would have to indulge in some research. Some heavy research to do that.
Vinestra said, suddenly Mongolians invaded Tempo.
Suddenly Mongolians. Oh, don't do the South Park joke. Damn you, Mongolians!
Well, alright then. I don't know that, but okay.
No. In all seriousness, though. So, going off of the middle name for that character, again, his first and last name at the moment, lost in the VOD that I'll have to find later. I was planning on doing that during the BRB, didn't realize I was going to have to manage headaches during the BRB. It is what it is. Greater Demon Oris. Okay, so it's not Orcus. Cool. So I'm assuming some homebrew demon. Either way, interesting, and that'll be preparing another character sheet in case some shit goes sideways. You know? That's fair. That's fair. I tend not to prepare character sheets until a character dies, but I just don't like cheating on my characters. You know, that's me. Of course, I've been in some campaigns where that was probably a poor decision, but I digress. First character I ever made ended up getting killed when he went into the forest to piss, and he got jumped by a pack of gnolls. So,
That's great.
yeah.
I feel like you've told this one a few times, but it still makes me chuckle.
Yeah. He was literally caught with his pants down.
Vinestra said time to use the blood map and tempos map.
Yep,
Yes.
tell me how to use this map.
So,
It's stuck to my arm. You can't really do much.
in terms of integrating an existing map into the blood map, it is as simple as actually layering the physical map into the book, and then suddenly it will become part of it. Now that said, the map that you have is cobbled together from scraps of different maps, so I will have to make a roll to see if it actually coalesces. That said, not really a high DC given the sheer power of this enchanted item. That said, if I roll a nat 1, it's another story. So,
I rolled. Can it be a low DC roll? The high DCs I rolled making the map.
It sounds like it's gonna be a low DC, is what he said. I'm pretty sure.
most likely, yeah. And also Xander does have his own map of the area as well, in case this fails, but we'll see. So, you all will be happy to know that it was not a nat 1, but it was a natural 17. There are no modifiers for the item. It's just a flat roll. Either way, you watch as the scraps of the map suddenly, almost like fat melting into a pan, begin to meld into the parchment of the book. The ink from the scattered bits of notes and pieces from what you've structured together for this map suddenly settle in and coalesce onto the map in a deeper and more detailed structure than what you had cobbled together. Also, thank you for the good luck, Lord Starlight. Hope you've enjoyed what you've watched so far, even though a good chunk of it has been BRBs because health issues, woo! But, hey, it is what it is.
That into a pan.
Yeah. The map settles in, as does the blood work on, well, that you've settled in. Now, the thing about doing this and settling the map in here, you also fully get label in this map for what plane tempo is actually bound to. Which does give you guys a few different answers based on that 17, because it's flickering between languages. First off, it's flickering immediately between Quarry, which is the baseline language of mind flayers, and Primordial. This speaks to a place of in-betweens and unthings, which does immediately speak to Limbo, which is where the label kind of flashes, and then it occasionally also flashes into Abyssal. It doesn't give you a distinct labeling on which layer it is, but it is some kind of fucked up mess and miasma in that sort of in-between. It is Abyssal and it is Limbo. There is no direct attachment to the material plane. These are slices of the material plane that are ostensibly floating in there. Now, that said, you guys have encountered instances where there have been sort of in-between planes, right? Crossover areas between planes that have essentially acted as their own sort of miniaturized planes of existence in those crossover areas, where you have, like, say, for example, the plane of fire and water creating the plane of steam. These are quasi-elemental planes, quasi-planes of existence. They still exist in their infinite expanses in their own right, but they are layered in all intentions, almost like a cosmic mutation. And this is no different. Yes.
Question on... So the label is flashing between two different languages, or?
Yeah, two different languages which indicate basically the two planes that this place is hosted on, because at least for everybody here, you all have at least some familiarity with languages, or some facsimile of like Eyes of the Runekeeper, where you can gather that this is Kuori, which is the language of the Mind Flayers, Primordial, and as well as Abyssal. Now, Kuori and Primordial, when that layers together, it usually indicates Limbo, and the label clears up enough when it flashes between those languages to just plainly say Limbo, and very clearly indicate that.
How do you spell that? Q-U-A-R-I-N-E?
Q-U-O-R-I. Kuori.
Okay, Q-U-O-R-I. Primordial. And because it's written in Kuori Primordial, we think Limbo?
You are certain of Limbo. Between those flashes,
Okay.
you catch that specific wording.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm just gonna simplify this note to we discover the label says Limbo.
I would be able to read this. Like, just straight up.
Right. No,
Probably just-
this isn't as much as our characters can't read it as the player is having a hard time visualizing it, and that's entirely on me. It's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
I'm just bad at visualizing.
I know, I'm just making sure. So it's just flashing in different languages while Piper's just saying Limbo in different fonts.
Yeah. Which then it will still also flash into Abyssal, and indicate the Abyss. Now, it is not defined enough to indicate a layer, which in this case, given that it's just some kind of quasi-bridge, quasi-bleed, exists unto itself, mostly a limbo-bound chunk of existence.
We must hold a Limbo tournament to defeat the place.
You know?
Maybe.
It would be the weirdest way anybody conquered a campaign with a Limbo tournament, but hey, you know,
Nice try.
you guys do what you
Anyway.
want. Dice rolls are there for uncertain outcomes.
Anyway, can I find the parental dots?
Yes. Which, notably, of course, it is kind of like sputtering and shifting in places. But for the most part, it is eastward. And there is a bit of a split between the positioning of them. And where the flickering happens, they are suddenly together and then not, and then together and not, and together and not. And the timing on it seems wildly inconsistent. You can't really track it down to the passage of seconds or minutes. It seems to vary incredibly sporadically. Which, as you guys even discovered before entering this place, trying to communicate with them, you've noticed that at least the winds of time, or in the case of whatever Avery's parents were traveling through, temporal bubbles do seem to have an effect on spatial movement as much as temporal movement in this place.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is we need to move eastward and hope we bump into one of them.
And again, my directions are fucked up. Westward.
Okay.
I'm like, that way totally is east. No. God.
It's fine, dude. I forget the cardinal directions all the time. Everybody's like, yeah, you gotta go
Left
due
and right
south.
is easy because I'm left-handed, but I don't think this is my west hand. You know what I mean?
It goes we.
Vinestra said, so Ilya, and the treasure is east. Avery's parents are west.
Yeah. Never eat soggy women waffles. Excuse me.
Excuse me?
Soggy.
Hannibal Lecter.
Weepix.
So Ilya and the treasure is east. Avery's
Never eat
parents west.
saucy wings.
Okay.
How dare you?
We're not splitting up, though. We've done that and regretted it so many times. We're gonna stick together, even if it means we're traveling twice the distance.
Yeah.
Or I guess more like 3 times the distance. But
It is
my point
unfortunately
still
a
stands. We're not
caveat
splitting
where
up.
both of the objectives here are in opposite directions, but that's my prerogative as the DM to introduce some chaos and a reason for you guys to stay in this horrific fucking place for a little longer.
That just means let's flip a coin to see where we're gonna go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Anybody got a coin which direction we're going? Because I can't use mine. Mine opens a door.
I have a die.
Evens west, odds east?
That's 3, so odd.
East.
All right.
Vinestra
East.
said Vi is going to frown. How competent and defending themselves are your parents, Avery?
You know, it's hard to say with the time the way it is, but they've been in here for, I feel like, at least a few years already, even just by their own standards. They're probably pretty fine to wait for us to get whatever you got going on. I think our priorities are about equal right now.
It also depends on how time has been moving for them. For them, it may have only been days.
Exactly. Point is, we were able to contact them, and they looked fine. Granted, maybe a little malnourished, but we fixed that.
Yeah.
Vinestra said, very well. Shall we head east first then?
Sounds good. You should lead the way east, since you know what to look for. I don't know what this Ilya person looks like.
All right, heading east first.
And the treasure? What are you talking about with the treasure?
So there was a treasure map that you found. Or at least that Xander had in his possession and has had in his possession for a while. It's part of the logbook, kind of toward the front of the logbook. A marker of apparently some stored valuable items. It is away from the actual fucked up collected township of Tempo. And best you can tell, it is also eastward. As far as the splintering paths eastward go, Ilya is more toward the northern splintered path, at least in terms of angling on the map, and the treasure toward the southward splintered path on that map. Once I have Foundry working, viewers will also be able to see what the fuck I'm talking about.
More importantly, players.
Yeah. I mean, there is the screenshot of the map, at least for you guys in the Discord.
So we're going east.
Yes, indeed.
Isn't East of Eden a game?
We're following one of those 2 roads on the east side then?
Yes, indeed. The northernmost will lead to Ilya, the southernmost will lead to the treasure hoard. Or
Are there any connecting roads? Do we have to go retrace our steps to get to the other one?
Venturing out through the town and through the roadway, being led along by Xander very cautiously in those directions, you eventually start to feel almost a heavier mustiness, as if you're kind of walking deeper into an untended and dusty closet, even as you are kind of walking away from this collected and busted expanse of buildings. And very poignant, Lord Starlight using our imagination for now, viewers. Also, to be fair, for most of my players, you guys are forced to use your imagination to a degree, because I can't be bothered to give you reference images half the time. Well, I can be. I would love to. I wish I had artists on standby who could, like, really quickly do environment stuff.
We have here.
Joe.
Hey. Tell us what you want. I can outline it, make it, could digi-art it.
Megan, here's the thing. I don't want to bother you. I'm that kind of friend.
Please give me something to do sometimes other than packing, please, before I lose my fucking mind.
I don't like bugging people.
It's not bugging. We like to do the art.
They are literally asking you to do this for them, Joe. It's not bugging anymore.
Let me feel guilty, damn it.
No.
But I wanna.
No.
But self-deprecation.
No.
But emotional masochism. No.
No.
All right, so either way, you guys begin to venture forth. As you venture outward, it very much starts to feel kind of like you're stepping out into that same layer of the abyss that you were in, where there was that collection of broken things. But it is different, notably in a few key ways. While that was an open space, an almost open void, right, where you could see this kind of messed up gray purplish sky and things scattered about like a scattered empty junkyard of infinite leftover and left behind things. This looks like just layers and layers of that packed into a cave system, as if this were like buried underneath it to an extent, and that degree of the same place, where you can see light poking through. It is not a preview into that part of the abyss so much as it is just the empty, black, voided expanse of limbo. You can see flits of movement of some unseen unthing that passes by, broken bits of light that might be gateways to somewhere else, or pieces of something else. And you venture forth, repetition after repetition of long, desiccated, broken trees that are plunged sideways into cave walls, broken bits of rock and crystalline structures from somewhere else still, long cooled and basalt-riddled former lava-like structures and obsidian builds. It's a jigsawed, scattered mess of different things that grow thicker and thicker in their sheer and utter chaos as you pass through these open roadways, and the air gets thicker and thicker, again with that heavier sense of walking through a musty closet. The air in this environment still feeling so internal and house-like, despite the natural structures all around you. And all the more disconcertingly is this carved out roadway that you still walk along through this mess. Someone had the consciousness and willfulness of thought to repeatedly and deliberately carve a navigable path through this place. And it's wide enough to very clearly harbor and navigate wagons, but it's not paved, it's not placed with cobblestones. It is carved like a road that you would see on the countryside, but into hard rock. Like a soil road through stone, as if it was briefly for but a moment made into clay before returning to its hard structure. And more, as much as limbo and that place in the abyss that you were in feels like it was a place where things had fallen away and were left behind, this almost feels like a hallway that has these broken bits of forgotten places simply used as the mortar to fill the bricks and make the walls. And all the while, I'd say every single one of you have a high enough passive perception to not miss this coiling sensation the farther you walk of being watched. As thick and musty as the air grows, you get that tense, cloying sensation up your back of playing hide and seek as someone approaches just outside of your hiding spot, within a moment of reaching forward to discover you. But you never quite get that sensation of them walking away.
You said my psionics are basically disabled right now, right?
Your ability to communicate telepathically through your psionics are.
Right, so I wouldn't be able to, like, detect their thoughts.
You could certainly try. But that
Can
also
I-
generally requires a target within range.
Yeah.
So, again, you can try.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily speaking about the spell detect thoughts as much as the passive detection that Avery has.
Yeah, which it does operate very much off of the same rules.
Okay,
To an extent.
got it. I would like to try. Maybe I can expand my range with a sheer high roll. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. If you would like to try and expand your range, which that I would constitute as trying to expand the reach of a magical ability beyond its normal written limits, that's where I'll have, of course, our custom skill, Vibe Check, come into play here. You're going to want a DC 18. Below that, we're going to operate within the same, just normal 30-foot range.
Got it. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. All right. So, not only is that an automatic success, in this case, it is a critical success. Which I will say will grant you this. While you push out your mind, immediately that sensation, what you've been told over and over and over of your psionics being fragmented, you've never really had a true sensation of how that feels and how it feels not like it's functioning properly until you got here. Immediately, while you get a collection of voices, it's a sensation of radio static where signals are not complete, they're overlapping with things, and immediately it's almost like that high-pitched whirring feedback as voices try to pierce in, and yet through that, there's still enough familiarity with doing this, despite the new sensation and the new clarity with which you can feel it, that you know how to try and focus through the noise. With that natural 20, you pass through scattering voices, and they're disembodied, they're moaning, they're all sounding like they're gasping for breath, and you're realizing you're not piercing into conscious and living minds, but your psionics, your detection of thoughts have pierced the minds of disembodied souls. This is in limbo. This is not in the ethereal plane, which means they are well and truly lost here. And yet there is also not enough left of them to truly be considered souls. These are scattered, broken, just leftover minds that at most are mimicries of ghosts, like lost last moments of horrible, horrifying trauma. And yet you still zero in on a signal. Leftover moments. You can use that. Leftover thoughts, if they're that potent here and that tangible, can be followed like a set of footprints. And you think on a voice that sounds like yours before you knew how to change it. On a voice in your memory before you knew to walk on your own. And the voice that came with it. Find a signal, a set of thoughts, a trail of thoughts, and a set of mental footprints to follow. We'll find a way to help Avery. This is a place where lost people go. Maybe somewhere in the mess, even in the dead ones, somebody has an answer. Broken bits of conversation that you follow like a homing beacon. And walk after it.
I'm not just going to silently walk after it. I am going to tell the party that I hear that that I've picked up on this, so they don't think I'm just running off on my own.
Are you sure it's not somebody doing trixies, little hobbitsy shit, right?
It's the best lead we got, I think, even more so than the blood map.
I'm gonna look at the map. Has their dots decided to just move to the other side of Tempo?
No, they are still in that same direction, and where Avery has kind of oriented to lead you, which is starting to lead away from this carved roadway and a little bit more into the broken cave system, you are going in the direction that those dots are. Where he reorients himself, I should say, notably is also in line with where the dots move a good 40 or so seconds before they do. Each time he does. Or each time they do, I should say. Changelings. I'm gonna get used to it at some point.
So we aren't going east where we were gonna go for the vault thingy?
I surmise that this is likely my parents.
Yeah. But then again, we're in wibbly wobbly tiny whiny world.
Wait. Oh shit. Maybe I don't want to do that right now, because aren't we heading
To the vault.
You're right. I don't want to lose this, though. Fuck.
I will say, with that natural 20, you are so...
Vinestra said, weren't we going east to get 𝕲𝖊𝖓 first?
Yeah.
Or
No,
did I
no, you're
misunderstand?
Oh, right.
I'm guessing that was delayed because we just got onto that.
Yeah, my misunderstanding there. I will say this. In that natural 20, I'm going to go ahead and grant you this for that. You will not lose that signal and that ability to track that.
Okay. Then we can wait.
Be fine. Who knows how long they've been there? If like a day for us is like 1,000 years for them, this is not helpful. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, let's go find a treasure chest and Vinestra's friend or something.
You finally find your dad, and he's bearded and old like the knight at the end of Last Crusade.
Choose one, Avery, and I will let you free.
Anyway, to the vault. I know it's a treasure chest, but my brain keeps going to a vault, so it's a vault now.
You guys can use whatever words you want. As far as what you'll actually find, we'll get into that. But you guys are able to reorient yourself toward the marked point on the actual map itself, which that does get you back on the road for some time. And as far as passage of time is concerned, it's definitely really only as much as it concerns a lot of you localized to yourselves, because time here is a little bit vague. Though notably, as you pass through these almost steps of the journey where you can almost feel your steps slow for a moment, like you're stepping onto uneven road, though no uneven road is beneath you. You watch as each of your amulets momentarily flash before your steps stabilize. And for those of you a little bit more keenly aware of magic, which in this case everybody's casters, so not really anybody blind to this, you realize that you're stepping through time bubbles and managing to be unhindered and undisplaced by them. And of course, appreciate you coming by, Lord Starlight. Do what you gotta do with being called away, man. It's all good. So, let's see here. Moving toward chest, you begin to move toward, particularly in this area, along the sort of walls of this cave, which wide in places, narrower in others, the halls seem to be stitched together more so from scattered bits of planes that have more natural elements, though again their placements are broken and disjointed. You're seeing trees fully grown and branched out coming in from the ceiling, and bushes coming in from the sides, and the orientation of any of this plant life, just logistically and gravitationally and everything else, makes no sense, and yet it nonetheless is not being pulled toward the center of gravity that you are currently stepping on. But that sensation of being in a musty closet, even the scent of the air, being around all of this greenery, doesn't change. You don't catch those floral notes, the mustiness of wet mud and moss, the freshness of a jungle after the rain and its mists, even as some of it begins to coat your vision. None of those aromas greet you. Even in limbo proper, you should feel that difference, and yet you feel none of it here. It's frustrating almost. Every mortal instinct, particularly the ones that seem to almost habitually on a psychological basis depend on looking to flora for some sensation of rightness. It's like sitting in an office and staring at a plastic shrub. But it's real.
Would Violet know what this is? Would Violet know how to go through all this, considering how many layers of the abyss she went through?
Roll. That's a good question. I would say roll a. How to go through all this? Let's clarify.
The path was still defined.
Yeah, the path is still defined. This is just kind of explaining to you what's going on with it atmospherically.
From what I can gather, I also want to say this for Brick. Have you ever watched Alice in Wonderland?
Once upon a time, I think maybe.
Do you remember that there was a bird that was making the road, and he was drawing the road and painting it down, and then a guy was coming behind him with an eraser and erasing the road behind him?
No, I don't remember that. But I can kind of picture it in kind of a Looney Tunes kind of way.
Think about it like that.
Roll a survival check for me, if you would, Megan, for Violet.
Okay. A 19 plus... Oh wow, her survival's high. I didn't know her survival was that high.
Back up to once again get this shirt in view.
It's a 41, Joe?
41.
The DM smiles.
It's already too late.
Oh.
Hold on.
So, one of the favorite shirts that you've got me, Megan. So, it is so funny that you mention Alice in Wonderland and the Drawn Path. Is that sensation, that lack of change in aroma in so much of this place, it itches to you, Violet, as fundamentally wrong. Even in a place like this, there should be some indication of change when the environment does, even if it's just in the thickness of the air. When a room gets bigger, a big enough room will have its own wind currents. Even in a small scale, just through the disruption of someone moving through it. This doesn't, and it itches you as wrong, so messed up. And you realize, looking ahead, you can peer far with those draconic eyes and that sight that you've been gifted. There are parts ahead of you where the road loses detail. As if staring at a rough sketch. before it's fully painted in. According to the map, you're closer to your objective, yes. You're just about there.
Can I use my universal eraser and erase the scenery?
Your universal eraser.
Yeah.
I will say this, all I can think of now is any time in the Looney Tunes they would color against a wall.
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know what she's talking about, but I can easily, like, picture the scenario in a Looney Tunes context.
Care to remind me of the item? Looney Tunes, the alternate universe where the entire Looney Tunes cast is just a really cartoonishly comedic group of raccoons.
Remember?
It is a comedic item from Arcadia.
Right. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. One
Arcadia.
time everybody got to get some Arcadia shit. Season 1.
Arcadia, that was the name of the place where you guys found that scattered mess of other things, and I did say that the cartoon laws applied to the item. So
and it's a very long pencil.
Yes.
And it's every morning I have to roll like 2d4 to see how many inches the pencil gets back and how much the erasure comes back.
Now that said, it doesn't gain extra inches if you don't use it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it gains it if it's lost any over the night. Does that make sense? It gains back what it originally had, okay?
Gaining extra inches if you don't use it would make a lot of men really happy, but...
Oh, shut up, Joe. Horrible.
Yes, a lot of men would be very, very happy.
Up until it gives them trouble walking, but I digress.
Anyway, let's Looney Tunes.
Can I use the universal eraser and basically erase layers until, like, a piece of paper that's been shaved off until I basically find his mother in that direction?
Well, right now, you guys are going for the treasure. So...
Oh my god, why did we decide to go after the treasure?
Because we rolled... They were going complete opposite directions. They're kind of equal importance, so it's just like roll to see where we go, and we win east.
Mm-hmm.
But with wibbly wobbly timey wimey shit, his parents should be fine.
So, with that pencil, what would you like to do? And by the way, the more cartoonishly you apply the thoughts of these physics, the lower your DC. However,
how close are we to this item?
According to the map,
are we on top of it, around it, near it?
You are. Let's add some piratey rhythm to this. Maybe 30 paces.
What?
That's pretty close.
And yet nothing of the road has visibly
𝕲𝖓𝖓
changed.
said 75 feet.
Look, I get that. Give me a minute.
She's trying to figure out how she's got to erase.
Megan. You said this was a pencil, yes?
I'm trying to think of something cool to draw. I said
I'll
I
give
get
you a
points
minute.
for creativity.
You get points for, let's be perfectly
Draw
clear,
broken lines and an X.
cartoonish logic. The more cartoonish, the lower your DC.
I know broken lines and an X works, but that's not what I want to do. I know what I want to do. I just got to think about how to do it.
Take
All
your
I
time.
can think of right now is Roadrunner and the fake tunnel that the coyote slammed.
Here's the thing. We can make this an open discussion if you want and allow people to throw some ideas in the hat if you want.
So I'm gonna do the ridiculous thing and draw myself a hole. I'm gonna take a piece of paper, I'm going to draw myself a hole, and I'm going to peel the hole off of the piece of paper.
Are we going to use the hole to teleport?
Hold on, I have a thought process.
Oh, let her cook. Toilet, nobody asked your opinion.
I'm going to draw a small black hole, a corresponding one, onto the map.
Where we're supposed to go?
I'm going to do this the most cartoonish way I can think of. And I'm going to put it on Halcyon's armor, and then I'm going to reach through the hole, and I'm going to grab whatever the treasure is.
Okay, so you're gonna boin his purple crayon this.
No.
Nothing
This is I'm not boiling the purple crayon. I am literally, what do you call it? I know Wile E. Coyote has done this so many times. Hold on, what is it called? I'm going to Roger Rabbit this.
Ooh!
Okay.
Ooh! That's gonna be cool.
Like when he saves his girlfriend because he puts the magic hole in the wall, the Acme hole.
Yeah, the acne hole. You're making the acne hole.
And I'm going to do it like a magic trick. And I said, there's nothing in my hand. There's nothing above me. There's nothing below me. She's going to reach the hole, and she's going to grab... And her hands... She's going to imagine her hand appearing onto the map and then pulling this X.
Okay.
Pull the location to us.
It's right next to it. She put a little dot on the map and drew a little hole. Right next to it.
So that way one appeared in reality.
Uh-huh.
And then we just go, shrink.
All right.
What do I get out of the hole? It's on Halcyon's torso right now.
As you pull it from Halcyon's torso, the DM in me that wants to be really mean with the cartoon logic is Halcyon's beating heart. But no.
No. Can it be like the multiple like kid things where it's like, oh, it's a heart. Oh, it's a hammer. Oh, that's not what we wanted.
Oh, that's mustard. Don't be silly. No.
Mustard. That's silly.
No. So you do
Mustard, have a
pull
mustard
out a
gas.
container, but let's see here. Okay, let's be perfectly clear here. Was this Violet?
Violet is literally putting on rubber gloves while she's doing this because I am doing this the way they did in the actual show.
Okay, I asked this because my 𝕲𝖊𝖓𝖊𝖓𝖊𝖘 headache brain, for a moment forgot. Oh, it's not Angel. So
Violet's the one that has the pencil. She asked for the pencil.
So
Yes.
that's still nonetheless why I clarified, even with an obvious question. But it is not items out of a box. As a matter of fact, you grab a hold of something, a large and hefty container, as you drag it forth out of Halcyon and slam onto the ground.
He's gonna comedically hit his foot.
Cartoon logic, yes. And you also get the classic cartoon yelling sound before pulling it fully off, and his foot is flattened and a beating, radiant sort of red round for a moment before it resettles itself into shape and the hole diminishes, and you lose a bit of length on that pencil. Now, as far as what you pulled out, it is a 9'3", gold-banded, volcanic black basalt sarcophagus.
Oh, I don't like that.
That's not what we're looking for, is what she says to Vanestra.
I am going to, with my comedic pencil, draw myself some TNT.
Please tell me you
Okay,
don't plan on blasting that open.
A dexterity saving throw on drawing that, because with cartoon logic, there's a
Vinestra
chance that
said
it may already be
probably.
lit.
V is going to go pick it up.
No!
What? Don't touch it!
Magnet.
Wait, we don't know.
Avery's gonna take a solid 10 steps back.
That is a natural 20 DM. Natural freaking 20. What is I supposed to roll?
Natural 20, you go ahead and draw some TNT that isn't already lit. Cartoon logic, okay? So,
We either have two options. It either turns into a Baldur's Gate sarcophagi monster that's a good guy, or basically it's a lit that wants to kill us all.
Venestra, you lift up this 9'2" black basalt and gold banded sarcophagus.
Why do people always take things from me when I just have them in my hands?
I'm going to need you to go ahead and give me a strength check or an athletics check, as it is heavy even for you.
Wait, I thought you had the pencil in your hands. That's how you were drawing the TNT.
Yes, but I'm
in to grab it.
I'm talking about Venestra grabbing and trying to pick up the sarcophagus there.
I'm letting you know. I picked up the sarcophagi because it was a cartoonish moment. That's the only reason it came through
The
the hole.
cartoonish moment was the reason that you were able to pull it out of Halcyon like pulling a pillow off of a bed.
Yeah. I could have been like Winnie the Pooh and gotten my butt stuck at some point. It would have been just as comedic. It would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Please no. I don't want to have to try.
Vinestra said 43.
43. No sweat.
Help me, step dragon. I'm stuck.
Ew.
Now, notably,
Yeah.
it's been a minute
What was
since you've
that,
had to pick
Joe?
up. No sweat. Notably, it's been a minute since you've had to lift something where you could actually like feel it, especially in the company of these people.
DM, I have a question. Did she just press the big red button? Because the sarcophagus that's glowing and making things
I
is
said
basically
nothing
a bad
about
idea.
it glowing. I said it was gilded.
You know, lava rock and salt.
It doesn't matter, Joe. It's the big red button, Joe.
You lift up the coffin with a bit of struggle. It is heavy even for your standards. It is sealed. The gold bands around the sarcophagus are even going around the actual seal of the sarcophagus. There is no traditional lock mechanism here. It seems as if the gold braces were here as a means of securing it shut.
I'm letting you know she's looking at. I'm letting you know Violet is fully glaring at Venestra right now.
That said, if you were
Avery,
going to
2
use gold
yards
to
away,
secure something shut,
just kind of nail biting.
it may yet be a poor choice. Gold is quite the malleable metal.
It's foreign an object. I'm letting you know Violet is basically considering it her hoard at the moment.
Avery's like, I don't wanna be here. No, we
I
don't
don't
wanna
wanna
be
be
here.
Also notably, on that treasure map, that very clearly sketched Red X is
it gone?
So I guess we got it.
I'm gonna take the hole.
Vinestra said, sent you a question, Joe.
Oh, and the where? What'd you do with the hole?
So,
Then-
what exactly is telling us that this map wasn't pointing to a treasure, but rather a cursed item? Because I think that's entirely plausible.
I will say this actually for shits and giggles. Megan, in the case of Violet, in you collecting this hole, you have a portable hole magical storage item that will exist for 24 hours. Anything contained within it after those 24 hours are up will be violently cascaded out of it.
Oh. Is that for real?
Hyper seeing Violet heal the big hole off of Halcyon, I'm gonna pull the tiny hole off and hand it to Violet. Off the map.
I'm letting you know she's kind of flinging them back and forth a little bit, but she's giving like Venestra like the death glare. Like, I
Now-
will fucking kill you.
To clarify your question, there, Venestra. Go ahead and give me a vibe check to see if you can sense anything that you are describing within the sarcophagus.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Above table.
Yes.
Can I smell what's in this thing?
I will say, even with your perception statistics, it is too well sealed to be giving off any aroma from what lies within.
Vinestra said nat 20 plus 3-0.
You may yet discover something based off of scent the moment it is allowed
So
some
it becomes a
level of
30.
opening. 30.
I don't want you to open it!
She's not opening it. She's guesstimating what's inside it.
That cloying sensation of extension of self. That very sensation contained in so many objects that you've been brought to pursue for your own ends and the ends of those who might yet embrace you in the form that it will draw you to when you fully surrender yourself to it. Something within this clearly corrupted box, or, well, foreboding box, I should say. Corrupted is not the right word. Foreboding, given what I've visually described, this clearly foreboding box, something within this clearly foreboding box, does contain that sensation.
Hey, Joe. Can
Yes.
I draw myself a comedic x-ray machine that basically tells me what's in the box?
That's a little bit more of a complicated sketch. I'll need you to go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
Sweet!
So,
Ha 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 ha. That puts us at a 35? 35?
35. Oh, and with the Amber's gone.
Something tells me her router fucked her again.
Fuck!
35? 35, DM.
Somebody erased SpongeBob's butt crack.
I can't poop anymore.
I cast mend
Help!
butt
I can't
crack.
shit no more!
I cast testicular torsion.
I sentence you to be full of shit. It's not as bad as it sounds.
Hey, Joe.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a question. I got a 35. So
35 to go ahead and sketch an X-ray machine. You
like
construct
a little
it.
mini one.
Yes, you do. Now,
It's like the Scooby-Doo one where it says, "Don't open this box
No.
if it's not safe."
I'm gonna be blunt. You sketch an X-ray machine that will function for your purposes. However, it is still nonetheless an X-ray machine. So, you will be able to see through. You will be able to see through objects in the same way that you would an X-ray machine, meaning being able to see bones and physical or
No.
metallic objects, I should say, inside of that
cart-
contained area.
It is a cartoon X-ray machine. It is like if one person is looking for the special item inside of something, or one person, it shows you the shape of what it is, or if it's like a bad thing, the thing will react like in the box and act scary against the like cartoon.
Yeah, so cartoon logic. You are immediately scanning to see if there's also a giant 9'2", or based on the size of the sarcophagus, like probably, 8'6", depending on how thick this thing is. Skeleton.
I'm gonna test it on Halcyon first.
Vinestra said, "Can Violet see through Vi with the X-ray machine?"
I mean, you could walk over to Vi and look through the machine if you want. Easily enough.
No. I'm looking through. I want to look through Halcyon's armor. I want to see if it's cartoonish enough.
I don't want to be playing with radiation. I played with radiation once, and bad things happened.
Well, because the cartoon logic is here, you will not get a sentient and also theme song singing tumor.
Joe?
However, you are able to see, looking at Halcyon and looking into his armor, you're able to see a, let's just say, rubber hose variation on his skeleton that is trying to dance within his body, though his body does not move.
Does she see his underwear?
Yeah, usually still have a skeleton with underwear on it.
Notably, even though Halcyon, you know for a fact, is not wearing this underwear, the skeleton is wearing red heart tidy-whitey boxers over the bones.
Does it get scared when it notices I look at it and cover its underwear?
It promptly covers itself, which, notably, you watch in reaction, Halcyon's legs unwittingly, his knees pressed together, even though his arms haven't moved. What the hell?
I was gonna ask, if something happens with the sarcophagus, Piper's going to turn into a goose.
Oh yes, a goose. Okay, I'm gonna look through the sarcophagi now.
So, first to the question of Venestra, do you make a point of looking at Venestra?
No. Violet Dead's not gonna look at Venestra first.
Okay.
Why do we look at Venestra? I thought we were looking.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were doing.
Yes, so looking at the sarcophagus, first of all, again, you do not see an 8-foot whatever, 9-foot whatever, big-ass skeleton in the sarcophagus.
My God.
You do, however, see a number of cartoonishly sketched gift boxes contained within.
It's a Pandora's box. It's Pandora's box. It's Pandora's box.
There's one or two
Vinestra said so.
On those boxes.
Hope is inside it.
No. I have a question. Does it say do not open? In looking through this box, the presents would either have like a toxic symbol or a don't open symbol or a...
Give me your perception check.
Yes! That puts me at a 31, DM.
So, weirdest fucking way to do this. Among the sea of boxes, you also see disembodied, sketch of white against the black, pair of frowning eyes, just kind of moving back and forth in the black. And then looking toward you, and then the eyebrows raised, just ding ding.
What does it do? You're not explaining what face he's
making. The eyebrows raised with just the twing twing of kind of shock. Before then, it lifts up and, like trying to lift a cartoon curtain to obscure itself, you watch as a curtain string comes up and the entire interior of the coffin suddenly goes black.
There's a ghost in the box. There's stuff in the box. There's nice stuff in the box, but there's a ghost in the box.
Or something in the box, you're not sure.
There's a ghost in the box!
What? What's in the box? It's a ghost!
Disembodied eyeballs means ghost in the box.
Now, unfortunately, it will not come out as a cartoon ghost if it is a ghost. You have not imposed cartoon logic onto the being.
I'm going to do myself a favor. I'm going to create a pull string in the same visual.
Where is this goddamn? You gotta close the curtain, or are you gonna open the curtain back up?
I'm going to annoy it. It's going to keep trying to turn the light off. I'm gonna keep turning the light off and on.
One limit I
doing
must
everything
apply to that
right.
item. You cannot add further drawings to an existing drawing you've created.
Damn it.
That is not the limit I was given on this item. I do have another limit on this item.
And what is that limit?
I can't make it teleporting. What is it? I can't do I can't like draw a teleportation circle. I can draw like the hole, but I can't draw like a circle like that like can be constantly used.
Oh, right. You can't
have
use
to
it to create permanent spell work.
Yeah.
Everything you create with it is temporary.
Yeah.
They are, by their definition and by their function, entirely impermanent.
That's what I'm saying. Can I please draw a little light string on the item and turn it off on with lights so we can see what this thing does when I annoy it enough?
Okay, roll me a dex check to specifically draw a light string to turn on a light bulb inside of the sarcophagus.
There's
Because
a
that's what I'm
natural 20
assuming
do
you're
it for
doing.
me, DM. Yes.
You turn on the
As
light.
I'm looking through I'm looking through the X-rays again. I want to see how this king thing plays turn off and on with me.
Once again, see the gift boxes. See one gift box get pulled up by disembodied hands to cover a seemingly naked yet still no details disembodied pair of eyes. As then that hand detaches from the box and turns off the light again.
I'm gonna play the cartoon game of turning it off and on again.
In Hanna-Barbera fashion, this goes back and forth a good little bit.
It makes me think of going through all the doors in Scooby-Doo, but with light switches.
I should say in Warner Brothers fashion,
Vinestra
this goes
said
back and
duck
forth a little bit.
season.
Okay, in reaction, one time when he reaches to do the light bulb, I am going to put the TNT drawing that I have made and put it in the visual and light it.
Okay, so you're gonna replace the pull string on the light bulb with a detonator cord on TNT. Are you sure you want to do that inside of the sarcophagus?
V is not going to let Violet do something that would damage.
Do you really want to fight the monster?
Now again, that's completely in lines with Looney Tune logic, right? But are you sure you want to do that?
It doesn't mean the monster's going to die or the items will take damage. It's cartoon logic.
Sometimes in the cartoon logic it means that the container is simply a smoldering pile of blackened wood.
And whatever's inside is just painted black.
There's a few different ways I could go with the cartoonish reaction to that TNT detonation. It may involve the items being unharmed, it may involve them being completely fine. That will involve a roll on my side, so I'm going to ask again, are you sure you want to do that?
I got an idea. Okay. When it comes into the screen, can I draw a halo and wings on it and it ascending into the heavens?
Oh my God.
Descending into the heavens?
Ascending.
The heavens
into the
are
heavens?
below us?
Like above us.
You know what?
It can't stay in the...
Oh, so it can pass on.
Instead of a dex check, roll me a vibe check first, and then based on that, roll me a dex check.
Natural 20 for that one.
Okay, roll me a dex check.
A 19 plus... That puts me back at a 35.
Great. Amber, roll me a d20, and let me know if you get anything at or below 4.
Oh, the moment over 4, I have to pull up a dice on my phone.
Based on these 3 rolls, I'll describe what happens.
That is a 12.
Okay. All right. So, light goes on, and you quickly draw a halo and wings right over these angry eyes, and suddenly the eyes go boing, like up, and exaggeratedly, cartoonishly happy from angry all of a sudden, and then just start, wings flapping and floating out of the casket before what floats out of the casket is... let me grab the art here.
It's a celestial now at this point. Whatever it was, it's not that anymore. It's a celestial by nature.
Now, unfortunately, I will say, still lending to the cartoonish comedy of this. It is purified. It's ascending to a better place. What comes out is still going to be what it was.
It's fine. We don't know which heaven it's going to. It's just going to one of them.
It's going somewhere.
And it's not staying where it is.
We don't care. It'll be fine. Everything's chill. Ascend. Basically, angels love brothers. Violence love brothers as well.
Image, damn you! Fuck. There we go. Alright. So this, notably with completely out of place, bright white eagle wings sprung from its back, and a fully formed celestial halo floating over its blackened Death Knight helmet.
I knew it.
You see this. As it's holding its hands together in reverent prayer pose.
There's no celestial.
Oh my god. Moments like this are completely lost to the viewers.
They are, for now. And so for the viewers, I will simply say what suddenly gains celestial grace, but is nonetheless still exactly what it is. It is this full black plate armor Death Knight with skull knee pads, skull elbow pads, skull fucking shoulder plates, and rib cage braced armor with a full neck cuff and like a bat winged helmet over a skulled head. This
monster.
Yeah, veritable monster has bright white dove wings out of its back, a full angelic halo, has that in prayer pose with a fucking death blade at its side, and a tattered cloak of damned souls behind its back as it's floating up toward the ceiling, only to batter and skitter against the rock before finally just barely slipping through one of the holes into limbo proper, off to wherever the hell it's supposed to go. Looking up toward wherever it's ascending, and still retaining the momentary cartoon logic. You watch as it's ascending happily, gleefully, and purely toward wherever it's destined to be,
"Hey Joe,
as it's snatched from the sky
something."
by an astral dreadnought.
It gets eaten.
Yep.
By the way, Piper, when she sees it come out of the sarcophagus, before she realizes the situation, she poofs into a goose and hides behind Avery.
Whap. Canadian goose. That way you can still fight.
Yes, for chicken.
Then I'm going to...
Go ahead and roll me a vibe check, Vanessa, if you would.
Did it? Where'd it go?
Megan, no! Megan, back!
I'm back.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I couldn't see Joe's face.
Oh.
Or Avery's face. It
all froze.
Discard Mobile likes to not do video calls. It's stupid.
Vinestra said 29.
29, okay. I'll just
I've never really struggled with it on PC.
And notably,
But
just
mobile.
change the creature type from undead to celestial.
So, Piper for the next 4 hours is just gonna stay a goose, because why the fuck not at this point?
Also, with that, he also has a flight speed, same as his walking speed. Just in case you
Avery's
find...
kind of like, you know how in Scooby-Doo when Shaggy Scooby-Doo jumps into Shaggy's arms? Avery's like that with Aegis. Like Aegis is holding him.
I will say this purely from that interaction. I want to run a one-shot that's entirely, okay, you guys are going to problem solve with cartoon logic. Go.
Not right now. Plan later.
Even in that case, I would probably win.
Yeah, because I haven't really watched cartoons in a hot fucking minute.
I'm letting you know Violet puts away.
That is going to be a little nugget of personal catharsis that I'm probably going to hold on to. I'm just going to be honest with you. That was delightful.
I'm going to put it in my rechargeable carrying case that I bought that was supposed to be for recharging a gun, but I have now made it for recharging my items.
Yeah.
But it's where I put them and holster them for a day so they can get fully recharged. It was supposed to be for like a realistic gun. As if any of this magic gets
I
make
finally got a chance to look at the Death Knight.
How did it?
So now the mental image of it. Oh.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I'm saying. No words do it justice. You have to see this shit.
Didn't even get the opportunity to come out of that casket, give a speech, nothing. Just, I'm pure now, rather than.
So if it was a Death Knight, is it now a Life Knight?
No.
The hesitation, though.
Now it's a Death Knight in cursive with golden font
Vinestra said
and
it would
3D
be a
print
paladin
on
if
the
redeemed.
Hallmark card.
If you now look over at Vanessa, you may now open the box.
Piper is now goose. She's just like, I'm staying a goose now for the next 4 hours. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna be. At least I can fly out of here if something happens.
Let's be clear that
Avery's
no,
just
as exasperated as you heard it,
the
like I
bridal
wanted to
carry
say
position.
yes,
Like,
but the cartoon logic that applied to that thing, like it necessitates that has just kind of stay in no, just for the funny of it. Like it's still a Death Knight. It's chill now, but it's still a Death Knight.
No, it's a death angel. It now went to heaven and it's going to sing the song from Has Been Hotel.
Death
That
Paladin.
eat kind of dreadnought out in limbo.
Who's going to sing about how hell is forever, whether you like it or not? There you go.
Unfortunately, it's going to sing that in the voice of Skeletor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, means it's just going to sound like Motley
Until we
Crue.
meet again.
Actually, sorry. No, actually, that just means it's going to sound like AC/DC.
Vinestra said Vi is going to place the box down to open it.
Death Knight on an escalator. It's going upstairs. I'll see you later.
It's true.
You guys turned a Death Knight into an AC/DC angel. And I had to obey the Goofy because cartoon logic was literally applied to it. So,
I'm letting you know Violet is looking over at Halcyon. I want to know what Halcyon's reaction is to her, like, spinning the pencil around and putting it inside of its holster.
so I sincerely hope I'm in the middle of an ice bath for when I come out of this fever.
By the way, Megan, message. just gonna send this to you.
I'm crying, dude.
Holy shit, guys.
What did you need me to be silly today?
So I was gonna name
I
this
think
with table
everybody
Death
did
Knight
that.
Casket, but I'll name it ACDC Angel Casket. Casket.
Megan, honestly, I think with the week that at least I know 3 of us have had,
As much as we want this to be serious RP, I think the goofy will help with some decompression.
Yeah.
It can be goofy and serious at the same time. God knowing that usually when we have sessions that have vibes like this, I manage to get 2 people crying, which is an accomplishment.
whether
letting
it
you
be
know how-
sadness or laughter.
I'm letting you know Halcyon at this point is she's looking over Halcyon like, I have extreme drawing skills. I should have been an animator.
So first things first. There is no money in here.
Anymore. Nobody in here anymore.
All of that money was spent on light bulbs.
Crown of the Shining Hope.
Oh my
While
god.
wearing this headband, your mind is filled with willpower and beautiful memories when needed. You have advantage on saving throws against being frightened and on death saving throws. And a death saving throw is considered a critical success on a 19 or a 20. Well, the 20 part is given, but okay. At will, you can make the gem on the headband emit bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light in another 20-foot radius.
I only just now realized that you're actually reading a description, not making up some bullshit on the fly.
Hey
Give me
Joe.
a second.
Yeah.
Hey Joe.
I'm reading this so that the viewers can also.
Oh, I know. I
Hear
just
about
I
it,
didn't
Hey
realize
Joe.
that.
Hey Joe. I have a question. Hey Joe. I have a question.
Yes.
Which one of these smells the most foreign?
The second item, the shattered sword, immediately smells like it is not of this world in any capacity.
Didn't get the chance
Hold
to
on. I
read
have not
that
looked at
one.
the. I don't have a list. Where's the list?
A prismatic glass sword that starts out intact, but once a day can be shattered by smashing it against the ground or a solid object. Where it is shattered, it divides into 1d12, cannot be 1, jagged pieces that stay suspended in the air around the core of the sword and reforms after 1 hour. It does 1d6 plus 2 slashing damage when whole and does 1d4 slashing per shard when shattered.
Where is this? Oh my god.
Now, as far as an item of interest to you, Venestra, and particularly as you were informed that there was something
Welcome
of
to
malignaness here,
ACDC Angel Casket.
the gauntlets of eldritch ferocity. These leather gloves are protected with ancient stone plates inscribed with indescribable runes. When you hit a target with the Eldritch Blast spell while wearing these gauntlets and roll damage, you can treat a 1 on any damage die as a 2. Additionally, while wearing these gauntlets, you can choose to create an additional beam of energy and make an attack whenever you cast Eldritch Blast. When you roll a 1 or a 2 on an attack roll made with this extra beam, you may take 3d12 necrotic damage, and until you finish a short or long rest, your hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the necrotic damage you take. This necrotic damage ignores resistance and immunity, and if it drops you to 0 hit points, you die.
Is there anything living in the casket other than that thing that was in the casket?
Well, continuing. There's a few more things that you guys find in there.
Like an ooze or something? Or a jelly? Or a mimic? An immortal mimic.
Oh, please, no immortal mimics. That no. Please, God, no.
Sentience.
Unless it's nice, then that's fine.
Nice immortal mimic. That is a concept.
Okay,
His
something
name
that...
is
That is
Chester.
certainly one of the concepts of all time.
His name is Chester. You're welcome.
Alright, so... something that may be of notable interest to Blue in particular. thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
A pair of fingerless leather gloves, one white and one black. The black glove has thoughts written on one knuckle, and the white has prayers. Thoughts. Once per round, on a successful unarmed strike, made with thoughts, you may deal an additional d6 psychic damage. Prayers. Once per round, on a successful unarmed strike, you may deal an additional d6 radiant damage. While wearing these gloves as a pair, you gain the Tavern Brawler feat and gain a +1 to attack damage rolls for unarmed strikes. In addition, your unarmed strikes gain light and finesse properties, which means these can be used by somebody who is not a monk and still gain significant benefits to be using your fists instead of other weapons.
Wait. You hit with thoughts, you get psychic damage, but what about if you hit with prayers? Is it
You get radiant damage. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
Thoughts and prayers, motherfuckers.
Sorrows, prayers. But anyway, Joe, I messaged.
Fantastic. I will look at that in just a moment.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if I said it or not. My brain don't work.
You did mention it. You're good.
Okay.
Okay, Joe. Question.
Yes.
Angel is the decoy. Is there anything for Angel in this casket?
We'll get to this.
Okay.
All right, next up, once again, something that'll be useful for just about anybody here. 𝕲𝖊𝖓𝖓𝖊𝖘. While wearing this belt, you gain the following benefits. Dexterity score increases by 2. You have advantage on persuasion checks made to interact with elves. If you aren't an elf, you also gain the following benefits while wearing the belt. You gain proficiency in perception, have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep, and you can speak, read, and write Elvish. So again, a little bit broadly useful.
Sorry. That was the most violent burp I've had in a long time. It was violent.
You are good. Look, it's been a while since I've handed you guys some magical items for the sake of pure versatility. That's why also cartoonishly, inside the casket, it showed straight up gift boxes. It was also going to be for the sake of
Vinestra said, is there any story items in it that V might want?
Well, there were the Eldritch Gauntlets, which specifically have to do with the
She already said
that instance of that thing. And then, where is it? I'm sorry, I have a fucking folder of these that I categorized.
I'm going to let you know that I'm going to tell you that Violet says this one is definitely for Nicodemus.
The belt?
A proficiency on perception.
He isn't an elf, and he already has great perception. Just adding insult to injury with that.
A little bit concerning for you, Avery, as the specific ingraining on this ring actually matches a few of the icons that you found in a particular human ruin that you were visiting. This ring is called Backup Brain. This magical ring maintains a complete set of memories of the wearer in case of damage, disaster, or decapitation. The cursed variant of it only remembers bad times. The most traumatic memories are recorded for future use. You're not sure which variant this is, but you swear you remember seeing this exact ring in there.
Is there any way I can gleam, or any of us can gleam, which variant it is without cursing ourselves?
Violet can smell it. Violet can smell it.
Violet can't strictly smell curses, I don't think.
Yes, she can.
Roll me an Arcana check, then.
I mean, I could also read it.
It's a 19. What? Plus 10? 29? No, it's plus 12. 30.
Gnome Depot. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah,
31.
some of these are awesome.
31.
Yeah, this is not the cursed version.
It's safe.
Yay! This sounds cool. I slide it on my middle finger, my left middle finger.
It's useful in case you get your
That
head
way-
cut off.
Next time, it's about the things that I like.
It's cool if I call dibs on this one.
He has that one.
Piper is a
And
goose.
then where was the thing for Angel?
Of course, there was a goose.
No, I'm saying Piper is a goose. Piper is just probably like, honk.
He likes that, and he likes this, and he likes this, and he likes that.
Was it Angel or Violet that drew the dynamite in the casket?
Violet was going
Okay.
to, she didn't.
She still has dynamite in her hand.
It's
Oh.
not lit.
Oh wait, how did you kill it then?
She put angel wings and a halo on it.
And it went to
Oh.
heaven.
Just to make it
Okay.
go.
I thought you like blew it. Usually that image happens after something like dies.
No. We didn't want it to die. I skipped it. I skipped the dying part.
It's because we didn't want it to blow up whatever was in the casket.
Fair.
Yeah, that's why we literally,
The TNT in the
I'm
casket
going to-
thing was an option. I would have just rolled to see if what was contained in the casket was destroyed in the process.
I'm letting you just know, Violet's whole thought process was literally, there's supposed to be a kaboom! An earth-shattering kaboom!
There was already an earth-shattering kaboom, and as a result, there are 5 Earths now. Now, unfortunately, just like my actual notes, the fucking folders where I'm like, this magical item's cool, are apparently just as fucking disorganized. I love myself. God damn it.
Just how lucky
I gotta say, I love myself because we have rules against self-deprecation in this chat. And
Yes.
as much as I want to self-deprecate, fuck.
Nope, didn't want that. No. Scooch gently.
Crack has troubles he likes to think of.
You know what? I got a fun one for Piper specifically. And we'll say that she's I'll describe what she gets that out of in just a sec, as it's not technically a magical item, but you'll get what I mean in just a moment. Come on. Okay, yeah, this was before I started organizing for class and just started organizing by this looks cool. Because I have a Bard folder and it's got 2 items in it, and in my random bullshit folder, it's got everything else.
I hear drawing or writing or something.
Are you sketching, Megan?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
I'm taking pictures of angels.
Taking pictures of angels?
Oh my god, I want a holy font! Yeah, I already have
Like
one.
a holy version of an olifant?
Well, it's a flying elephant with wings.
Oh my
L'elephant.
god, yes!
There we go. All right, so first things first. Piper,
Okay.
you find a glass egg. This is a magical egg containing a living creature. Contained within
Mine.
is a coffee drink.
Mine. Mine. That is mine. It's mine.
This is the
Yoink.
variant of it that classifies as a familiar, mind you.
A yoink. Piper's just gonna grab that with her goose. I'm turning into a broody goose.
Right now, it looks like it's
Gentle.
going through a, it's going through caffeine recovery.
Gentle, Piper,
Seems to be
gentle.
in the middle of a
When
particularly...
they collect eggs are very gentle until somebody tries to grab said egg.
I know, but you yoinked the egg of Piper,
I can
like
literally
her, like
take-
Blue's first. Gentle, Piper, you can have whatever you need. Just be careful with
just
your
gonna-
baby.
She's just gonna try to get the egg out, like, help me, help me.
She's lifting it and putting it inside your wings. It'll be
Okay,
fine. It'll be fine. It'll be
found it.
fine. It'll be fine.
So, I'm going to describe this first, before we get to what it do. Dress of outrageous opulence.
Shit.
Sewn from the finest materials and imbued with powerful enchantments for a haughty princess who absolutely wanted to impress. This dress has since found its way in the possession of various extravagant heroes across the centuries who don't shy away from high fashion. It is a wondrous item, very rare, that requires attunement. Made to last, this dress never gets dirty and magically mends itself to counteract daily wear and tear. Light as a feather. The dress of outrageous opulence is light as a feather and magically airy. When you fall while wearing this dress, you descend at 60 feet per round and take no falling damage. Additionally, you can use a bonus action to make it billow dramatically.
Does it do the anime thing where they see the underwear by accident?
That's up to you. The billowing dramatically thing is a free part of the actions. Now, finally, alluring attractiveness. I can't believe I'm giving you another buff for this. So, your charisma score is 21 while wearing this dress. If your charisma is already 21 or higher, the dress increases your charisma score by 1 instead, up to a maximum of 30.
Okay.
And that's what it looks like.
Vinestra said, "Hey Joe,
Yes.
sent you something."
Yes. First of all, that's hilarious. I will say, if you want to find that, it's probably going to be in the Feywild. Oh, you're
Thoughts,
suggesting maybe making that. Well, we can talk about it. That's fun, though.
How many know Violet is currently looking at Halcyon?
And hold on.
I don't know what else
Hold on. Let's
is
be
we
perfectly
have.
clear. We've got, hold on. So that's, how many of those did I put in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 for, what about roughly 8 characters, right? Because there's Angel, Angel's playing, Megan's playing 3, so that's 3, then Avery, that's 4, then Amber, that's 5, 6, and then Vinestra, that's 7. Okay, so we're covered. We've got our bases covered, right? Nobody I'm missing?
Violet's gonna put on the elven kind belt, because either that or grab the sword.
Vinestra said, "Amira."
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's fair. Well, that makes 8 then, actually. So there, I mean, aside from the coffee drink, which has already been claimed, and the backup brain, which has already been claimed, and the, belt of elven kind, which has already been claimed, And the and thoughts and prayers, which have already been claimed. I think that leaves the shattered sword. Wait, nope. Violet just claimed shattered sword. So that leaves Crown of Shining Hope for Amira if she wants to take that, I suppose. Which advantage on death saving throws for a familiar is actually kind of dope. I will say with that, it allows a familiar to actually be able to make them rather than immediately just out of existence in the first place. If everybody's good with that. Again, these were rewards for a fight that may or may not have been a slog, assuming that it turned into a fight. It was cartoonishly circumvented.
I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. Nothing happened.
I'm not mad at it. So.
I was just gonna look over it. Our man
Now,
is
the final
kinda
magical
giving
item, I
her
will
belly.
say, is the casket itself. This does not have a magical item sheet. Any who are laid and properly sealed in this casket, which must be sealed with bands of gold, have the stasis condition placed upon them.
Nice.
Once this casket is sealed, it is also immune to any form of magical damage.
Nice.
Though it is notably not immune to physical damage and has an HP of 1,560. So.
Mm-hmm.
1,560.
Are we ready
Yes.
to move on?
Yes.
Someone carry the big casket, because I'm not going to do it. Nope.
Also notably, once the Death Knight has left it, it is no longer attuned to the Death Knight and downsizes to about the size of a 5-foot casket. Magical items will adapt to the size of those who reside within them, or wear them, etc. In that state, it is much lighter.
𝕲𝖊𝖓𝖓 is going to merge the casket into her shadow.
We're just kind of punks did that. Like, I didn't know you could do that.
Shadow of Olding.
So I have a question. So we go. Now where are we going?
Ilya, I'd assume.
Weird. What the fuck?
Ilya.
Which way is which one is which? Which path goes which way?
So you guys are still in the rough cardinal direction toward where Ilya would be. It's the opposite route that would take you toward Avery's family.
We're gonna head towards Ilya.
By the way, Amber, any of those items proc real nice for Bruce?
Maybe the boots of Elvenkind.
There ain't no boots.
The boots, or the belt of Elvenkind, but the actual character knows Elven because he was raised by an elf.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because he's with Angel right now.
Honestly, that one in particular is definitely a lot more, strictly useful for earlier level play, but it still has uses at this stage, too.
I mean, but again, Bruce is with Angel. Why can my mouth not work?
Hey Joe, we're just gonna go ahead and just go where we're gonna go. We're not gonna talk about 6 other characters. Focus.
Yeah,
We're gonna.
That's fair. You're good.
Violet is going to take the 30 paces and mark that's where they were. and then follow the map to 𝕲𝖊𝖓.
All right. Following the map to 𝕲𝖊𝖓, you are still matching that sensation of the path being drawn before you. As disconcerting as that is to observe. And again, it's really only...
I have see invisibility. Do I see anything drawing the path?
How far does your see invisibility stretch?
100. Mine's almost 300 feet, but it's 120 with this darkness thing.
Okay.
You said it cuts it down by 2.
Yeah, I will say not far enough to see if there's any entity that's actively doing it.
Okay, so can I be the dog and chase the path and see how fast the path is going to move in front of me?
Yeah, you can bolt full speed ahead if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get to 𝕲𝖊𝖓, so we're going to do that.
Okay.
See if we're gonna have a cartoony snapback situation.
No, I want to see if there's little birdmen drawing the path.
So, unfortunately, the casket was really the only place where the cartoonishness truly resided. You didn't drop in... Tempo doesn't reside in Toon Limbo, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. We gotta go back to creepy limbo now.
Yeah, it would be fun.
No, I'm following.
But it's
I'm
not
headed
Toon Limbo.
towards 𝕲𝖊𝖓. I'm headed in the same path towards 𝕲𝖊𝖓, but I'm trying to follow this path as fast as I can go.
Okay, so bolting at a full pace, that is. Going in a dash, I'm assuming.
Full dog pace.
How fast is your movement speed?
Really fast. In dog form, it's 120 feet per turn.
Okay, 120 feet. All right, so some good monk stats, really. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. They completely flubbed their stealth. Cool. So, let's see. I will say, does Violet still have a mind for the cartoonish? While she's trying to bolt and see what sketches this in? Okay, then her expectations are going to be very, very rudely disrupted.
That's going to make her upset. Sadness.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Pepper's rolling the egg along, like quite gently as a goose.
Okay. Notably, the faster you run, the more you're noticing your amulet begin to flash. As you are realizing, as you start to run past the sensation of things being sketched in, the more your foot pads are landing less on stone and more on something soft with a bit of give and a bit of spring. And that smell of walking into a dusty closet gives way to the scent of a meat locker.
Ooh.
And stretching forth before you, building out, if not outright regurgitating the path before you, is this.
You going to send me a visual or not?
Are we getting?
Yeah, we got a visual.
Oh no! I don't like that. Piper is too busy slowly rolling an egg.
You run far enough ahead as you begin to catch that visual that I need you to immediately roll me a strength saving throw as you run past a row of teeth and toward a slathering and gripping tongue.
A natural 20.
All right. As a tongue whips out toward you, you immediately kick it away and back up as the path
Can
then
I
continues
catch it?
to get
Can
drawn before you.
Can I catch it and slide outside of the teeth, Joe, and let it bite its own tongue?
Are you sure?
He said it. No, she's not sure.
Hold on. I have an idea.
Hey, she still has the dynamite.
You know what? That is a glorious idea.
Even as a goose. Chaos.
I am going to wrap that tongue around the dynamite and blow a puff of air into the back of the throat so it's forced to swallow.
I'm gonna ask again. Are you sure?
𝕲𝖓 said, are we sure it is wise to destroy the ones making the road?
I mean, it did try to eat her, so
It tried to
that's
eat me.
kind of rude.
It did try to eat me.
Okay.
Self-defense!
So this is cartoon TNT, mind you. Meaning it will do one of two things. Either it
Either
will
it'll kill the
blacken the
monster.
path before you and piss it off, or entirely disintegrate it.
I think I'm gonna wait till after we find Ilya first. I'm gonna hold on to that idea. I'm gonna use it.
Probably a good bit of caution.
I'm also going to, if I see Ilya along the way, I'm going to do something really weird. Everybody's gonna think I'm super weird for doing this.
Again, Piper is rolling a coffee drake egg as a goose.
And I'm letting you know, Joe,
Above
what is
table, isn't that Azathoth's? Azathoth?
While it is an art piece, that is just a rip of Azathoth. Yes, it is the closest thing that visually served the representation of what I was presenting here.
okay?
And I
no,
will
I
say
have a question.
this area does thematically kind of follow some of his themes as well.
So do I find Ilya? Do I find her considering I'm running faster than everybody else?
Running that far ahead to try and find that target.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here.
As I'm waiting.
Just double checking the notes I was given.
I was waiting.
Like I said. Okay. As you rush ahead, you find this sort of magical, I don't say so much cage as much as like dome of runes. A light in this sort of soft, yet vibrant and glowing, on and off, kind of navy blue, wreathed in gold in places, kind of flitting back and forth between that language and the script that the golden enchantment is in, surrounding a strikingly heavily armored figure along very similar lines to a companion of yours, though comparatively shorter in height. Figure stationary, and it seems stagnant in her own right, in a form of stasis within this magical dome and magical field. A long flock of red hair going down her body, past her back and down to her ankles, a heavy blue cloak down her back over that hair, striking and large red plate armor, and the same sort of similar blue tabard going along the belt lines of that red armor itself. Much of the iconography and even the structure of it looking very similar in make to what you've seen Venestra wear, with a behemoth of a blade at her side.
Is it the fake figure that's carrying the small figure? So it's like a fake Venestra carrying a tiny a real friend of Venestra's?
No. That was artwork of Venestra. I posted something new in session art.
What's the other monster?
I can't even. No!
Again, Venestra isn't in red armor. Venestra wears armor that is navy blue.
I know.
And mostly the styling of the attire is the most striking similarity toward Venestra, and again, decently shorter than Venestra herself. Not Amira levels of shorter, but closer to like 5 foot something compared to Venestra's 8+.
Venestra said corrections on the height Vise 10 foot, Ilias 6-ish.
Ah, okay. Similar range of difference, but yeah, 6-ish, 10-ish, my bad. And I will say, with that observation and that discovery, it doesn't take long for everybody else to catch up. As for those of you that don't have access to the level of speed that V does, those of you that do are also strong enough that carrying the others isn't really a hindrance.
Venestra said Vi would 100% pick the others up to speed them if Violet found her, as she's not going to dawdle.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know, Violet at this point is... So, I have a question. This creature that is carrying her,
What? No, Megan? There was no description of anyone carrying her.
What did I miss? I'm so confused now.
I think you're conflating...
She was in a dome of magic sealing her.
Yeah, she was in a dome of magic sealing her, and then I explicitly described her and her appearance. I think you're conflating that with some previously shown Venestra art with Amira on her shoulder.
No, I'm thinking that somebody's carrying the cage.
No.
Like in a Dark Souls visual.
No.
Again.
My bad. She looks over at this Ilya person. Since Violet's fully ahead of everybody.
And everybody else is catching up at this rate. And again, she appears to be in stasis.
What's the rune work written in?
Most all of it it appears to be the same language that you've seen on Venestra's wings. Which, while it is a form of arcane script, it is not notably the kind that is really in use at all anywhere in Zaria. And I will say, with your familiarity, at least with runic structures and ability to read this to even some degree, you're realizing alongside stasis, some of this is also providing a dome of invisibility, which your see invisibility is what is allowing you to simply see the woman beyond it.
Is there anything that I can do to change any of the rune work?
There's a number of things you could certainly try. That said, would you like to do that before people get here, or would you like to wait for rest to arrive, as you can hear them trailing behind you?
Is there an anti-magic field inside of the cage, Joe?
Not that you're reading on any of the function of the
Can I put the hole at the bottom of the cage? If I flappy stretch it out. Shake it like a dog. Shake it like a soul shaker. Shake it like a soul shaker.
Like it's a rug.
Shake it a little bigger. Shake it like a soul shaker. Shake it like a soul.
You do that, and the person passes through the hole, and the enchantments that she has bound to herself move with her.
The hole. It's in the hole.
And so she is now next to you with this stasis and invisibility effect.
I'm going to use one of my 9th level spell magics on the stasis spell. Or no, wait a minute. Can I do an investigation as to why she might be in stasis?
Roll an Arcana check, and I will say, in doing this, are you waiting for anybody to arrive?
Violet isn't waiting for shit. She's got 2 more people to rescue.
She's like, we gotta rescue people, gotta go save people. She's like the Saint Bernard in the mountains.
I am the Saint Bernard with a whiskey.
Notably, because you did cartoonishly move her and the enchantment remains, she's a little bit flipped on her side like an invisible mannequin.
So it's a 31 for my Arcana. Is it Arcana?
Yeah, 31 for Arcana. This is basically you doing your best to cross-reference what you've grown to understand, what the runes correspond to on Venestra, with the effects that are being produced from the similar rune structure here. And so in cross-referencing that with the 31, while it does take you a few minutes, you begin to kind of understand the language structure of the enchantment here, which is not too dissimilar from some common arcane script, though there is a distinctively potent lean on it toward sort of spiritual focus and toward like elements of the veil or veils unseen. And these are veils that are not necessarily ones that are focused on in Zeria, if they even exist in that capacity. However, you are noticing that there are a few conditions on all of the spell work. First of all, it seems like it was placed in there almost like a lock on the present weave here, as if it was worded into being. There's one or really two spells technically that you know work like that. And then as far as the strict conditions, there are proximity conditions on this spell work, where these spell effects will collapse when apparently someone or something that apparently similarly matches its own magical signature gets close enough.
I'm gonna pick her up by like the back of her scruff, right? I'm gonna take her with the teeth, right? We're gonna take the whatever cloth or thing she's wearing. We're gonna gently pull her through the air.
This is a 6-foot-something lady in full plate armor. She's not light.
I'm sorry. I'm big dog. I don't give two shits.
Is this the Saint Bernard pulling the person out of the snow?
A little bit.
Yes. Can I roll my strength?
Roll me
Wait a minute.
athletics if you would.
I have a float rune. Can I use my float rune and float them? Can I use my iron stone with the float rune on it?
What are the conditions of that? Because I believe the floating iron stone has a weight limit on it.
No, it doesn't have a weight limit. It has a time limit.
What's the time limit?
An hour.
Sure.
It has to recharge in the morning. It doesn't have a weight limit though, because it was a big rock.
Okay, you float this, at this point, spherically, magically surrounded, just fucking battering ram of a person.
I'm gonna bring it over to Venestra, considering I saw the signature thing.
You good?
Notably, it does not move at the pace that you thought would be provided with your float rune, as it seems to be in part magically anchored to where the magic was cast. And so it is very much like trying to drag like a heavy metal rod through mud.
I'm letting you know the frustration that she has right now. It's just like the full on.
To save you! Let me save you!
Is there like a pointer noise that pointers make when they found something sometimes? I really need to know, because that's what she's gonna make the noise of, and she's doing it so Halcyon can hear her.
For anybody, really.
I mean, sure.
Lashley, is Tommy in the well?
Yes! Joe?
Venestra said
What
as
did you ask?
𝕲𝖊𝖓 is carrying the others and going full speed over there.
Did my brain break because I feel like I asked a clarifying question to the question you asked, and then I don't... What?
Did they make it? I'm trying to pull this...
Trying to pull the lady to Venestra, a la Saint Bernard pulling a person out of the snow style to the other rescuer.
I feel like Balto's struggling to get that big old box over there.
Venestra and the group catch up to you, honestly, by the time that these gnawing hellmouth things draw in the rest of the path. you are not able to make it very far.
Well, you know, there's like a noise that she's making. She looks over at Halcyon and she's just like pouting. It's like the full-on pout dog noise that literally the huskies make.
Which, fair, but it's like trying to move an industrial magnet off of a steel floor.
That's what she's trying to do. She hits it like 3 steps and it goes back and she's like, nah!
Fuck!
And it's just like, because she's making the noise of like a dog who's just frustrated because it won't move.
Yeah. Venestra, Piper, and Avery, you all arrive to Violet currently engaging in a Sisyphus-esque exercise.
Oh my god.
Vinestra said, and Piper's egg.
Don't forget the egg, because if you forgot the egg, Piper was going to go back for it. Waddling. Like, my dad! I mean, honestly, she probably would have. If you left the egg, you like, hey!
So I have a question. What happens when Venestra reaches the person? Because she's waiting for the magic signature.
Venestra, as soon as you get within 30 feet, which would be, a common person's sort of dim range of sight, really. As soon as you get within 30 feet, and particularly kind of around to facing her, suddenly, Violet, with your see invisibility, watches all of the spell work suddenly just collapses, like a latch on a seatbelt getting released, and it all getting pulled back, kind of toward her feet.
I'm letting you know it's also landing on the float rune, so she's floating. She looks over at Halcyon, and she has the most like defeated dog face ever. Like, this just sucks right now.
Hey, bye-bye.
I will say with that 31 Arcana? You realize part of that anchored nature is because some of that spell work was placed by a wish spell.
I'm letting you know there's like a growling and then a barking as she's trying to tell Halcyon how rough that was, and it's just like full on dog mode for like 2 minutes. She doesn't even realize she's talking dog at this point.
And this woman in confused fashion immediately starts speaking in a language and tongue that you do not recognize, though there are intonations to it that immediately strike familiarity with the sort of accent that Venestra sort of naturally carries.
She's gonna keep barking at this woman at the frustration of this thing. She's talking in dog. I'm letting you know what she's exactly saying. Are you insane? You wrapped yourself in a spell signature in the middle of nowhere because you thought somebody could come and save you. How long were you gonna float there?
Venestra? Why is there a giant purple dog barking at me?
She doesn't know she's talking in dog. So, hold on. I know Halcyon can understand her, but and Piper can't.
I know you may
too.
not understand this, but I've been in this living embodiment of ADHD plastered onto a location in time-space for I don't know how long, and that noise is aggravating the headache I already had before I placed this spell work. Also, how did you get here? Because I don't know how I got here. How did you get here?
I need Halcyon to calm Violet down. She's still yelling at her, and the conversation. I don't understand how you absolute imbecile decided to float yourself in the middle of space.
Vinestra said Vay is going to move up and pick Ilia up to give her a hug as she speaks in her native language. She's just a very chatty dog. We can discuss that later.
Understood. This is nice. I've missed your hugs. And she immediately and you can feel in her body, from exhaustion and just a tension in her muscles that says like an almost overbearing amount of pain from that headache, just passes out in your embrace.
Oh, stupid. Stupid. This is so stupid. And she's still cussing in dog.
I'm just gonna honk at her. Like, shush!
You feel a tangible level of exhaustion in this powerhouse of a woman, which makes you can't help but feel pause for what might have brought her to that state before this magic was cast to hide her away and keep her in a literally magically impermeable position.
I'm letting you know, she looks over at Halcyon. There's just like, and she's arguing at Halcyon in dog. She doesn't know she's not speaking Elven at this point. There's a full-on like, go full-on argument.
Do I need to yell heal at you? And Amber's gone again.
She'll be back. She doesn't realize she's not speaking actual tangible speech. It's full-on animal speech. She can speak abyssal in this dog form, so the fact that she's speaking in animal speech is, like, very strange for her today. I rolled for this.
Vinestra said as a joke, Amira would appear to sell Halcyon a dog collar or animal to common.
It's a full-on half growl. Are you serious right now? Your girlfriend person basically hiding in the middle of nowhere?
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted.
It sounds like how.
Do you
That
want
was a
to-
joke above table.
True, but in this alternate comedic universe where Looney Tunes logic has been the entire use of magic, it would get slapped on and then suddenly she would look like Pluto. Just purple Pluto.
He doesn't realize she's still not talking Elven. I rolled for this 3 times already.
Lovey.
Hmm.
You're letting your animal side out, not the fun way.
I'm letting you know she still doesn't understand that she's not speaking. That's not telling her she's speaking dog.
Lovey, you're speaking like a trick, not like an elf.
Okay, I'm gonna do this for you. You're speaking dog. Oh.
For all the hints she gives me, you'd think she'd take one.
When a woman is mad because someone has decided that they're going to basically, and she's going to say this for their entire, when someone has suspended themselves in the middle of nowhere, hidden in plain view, I understand her frustration. I also understand her speaking dog. So, I know you can understand her. Why don't you tell her that she's speaking dog?
You are speaking dog, love.
Vinestra said Amira is going to side-eye Violet, contemplating if Violet's native language is dog and not Elven.
It's more easy. And Violet goes, it's easier when I'm in a rage to act like a dog. No one's going to look at a dog who's having a little rage moment and a hissy fit is going to basically get mad at them. Except for you, general people.
Right. And he boops your nose before he then flicks it.
I have more things to do. She picks up Halcyon by his, like, the back of his cloak, where the back part of the metal breaks cloak.
Excuse you. Put me down and settle down.
One more person to save. It's not surprising that the dog is running off.
What did I just say?
Really?
Put me down and settle down. I better see an elf woman next to me.
I'm letting you know this is when Blue literally punches Halcyon out of the way. Run, Violet! Go to the next target!
Vinestra said he didn't specify clothed.
She's in rescue dog.
She's got dog on the brain right now, so she's like, run, Violet! Can I roll to hit? I'm gonna punch him out of the way.
The Shifu reaction fits. And yeah, I'm imagining that Twitch as Blue just punched Halcyon in the balls.
Yes!
And Piper.
Okay, that is a 19 plus a lot.
You don't need to roll to hit when it's narrative.
We are wrapping up soon. We got everything in this direction, and
Yes.
it's 12:15. Okay. Just making sure.
Yes.
We're not going to go for another 45.
And
There
then, you know,
were a
Violet-
series of additional delays because of headaches and what have you, but yeah, this was not
Obviously,
one that
yeah.
was going to
I'm
go
gonna
late
let you know-
by design anyway.
Violet shifts down and looks over at Halcyon. I'm not going to run from him. I don't want to get in trouble. That was the don't screw with me tone.
Let's get moving at a group pace then to the next objective. Given that it's a pair of
I can't-
potentially separated people.
Oh,
Is
we
that
are
fair?
going to try to do the other side
No.
also?
That's the next.
That's
We're headed that
Halcyon.
direction.
That's Halcyon making that suggestion for the next instance.
Okay, yeah.
As long as the woman's not floating in invisible space, waiting for someone to save her. Violet does that dramatic, like, side to side, like, arms together, like, princess, like, save me. This is the whole, like, ecstatic face.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Save me. Like that, yes, just
All
like
right.
that. Just like,
So notably, Piper,
Yes.
were you holding the blood map when you turned goose?
Yes.
It's in her bloody
The
goose
blood map
maw.
is a part of my arm.
It's under her wing.
so nothing happens when that happens. It retracts into our body. It's like part of our situation.
I'm aware.
Like, it's a part of my arm. What?
Vinestra said Vi is going to shoot Violet a very deathly glare at such a comment.
I'm rolling a little something for our,
This party really likes to glare at each other.
yeah.
There's a point where she looks over. I'm letting she looks over at Nestra. And she's going to take on her best Georgian accent. I do declare that I need to be rescued from the middle of this hungry existence. And she leans
Piper,
back
as
against
you-
Halcyon.
So I was in the middle of a description for a moment when I was asking
Sorry.
Piper that question. Piper, as you did shift down into goose form, you hear a whisper from 𝕱𝖊𝖓 as you look to your wing and see the patterns of the blood map on your feathers.
That's weird.
I think it'll be amusing if you get stuck with the bill for a bit. Pun fully intended.
What do you mean?
Means the DM rolled a natural 1 on a little something in the background and you are stuck in goose form. Until your wild shape expires, you cannot cancel it on your own. It also means the blood map is locked to your feathers.
Okay, so
It
so
means
I
if
have a
people want to
question.
read the map, they gotta pick up a goose.
I'm letting you know. She looks back at Vinestra full send. Oh, someone do save me. She takes her best Georgian accent and leans back against Halcyon with the most ecstatic thing as she's sliding her clothes on. Oh, do save me from this tonguey existence with these teeth and eyes and fleshy.
If we weren't in such a terrible place, I'd insist that you keep the clothes off.
No.
But let's see about the next step of our journey and the whole initial purpose of why we came here.
You do get what she's trying to do. She's doing, I do declare.
I put in general chat essentially how Piper reacts to the new information.
Vinestra said, I do not get what Violet is doing.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I will make it very apparent for what it is.
Hey, but as Goose. She wanted a way to relieve the tension, not be stuck as a way to relieve the tension. Which means
Yeah,
now
kinda.
Piper has to roll an egg everywhere. Yay!
Although we did specifically dictate that you were a Canadian goose, so you can still fuck people up.
True. I just have no way of moving shit. Other than, let me just slowly nuzzle this way. Although it's funny, so I guess.
Vinestra said, or we can punch Piper until she loses enough HP.
No.
You know, it's funny.
Blue. Violet sent a link.
Piper's gonna honk at that remark. No!
As you increase in druid power, you will have greater access to degrees of asshole bird. First, there was magpie, then Canadian goose. Eventually, you will be able to be granted the physique of the almighty emu.
I mean, I was an ostrich at one point, but I banged my head so many times I literally disassociated from ostrich body.
All right, but I will say, regardless of the sort of side remarks, as you guys are making your way toward where Avery's parents reside, kind of backtracking initially through some old paths, crossing back through Tempo, and then finally going to cross over that riverway. Would like everybody to roll me a d20 real quick, and just let me know if you get a 4 or lower.
No.
Excuse me while I have to pull up digital dice again.
Vinestra said negatory.
Same. We're good.
Cool.
18, I think we're fine.
Cool. And then Megan.
She said
I
no.
said no.
Okay, you're good. Okay, so nobody got split onto any of the 3 paths. Nobody got split up. All right.
Yay!
That would have made things a little more interesting for the cliffhanger, but you pass into the Sentry District. This place and its scattered buildings, unlike the ramshackle jigsaw of buildings that have been mostly put together that people inhabit, this seems like a jigsaw of broken buildings that have been mashed together to form these sort of stitched mockeries of structures. As such, there are scattered bits of stitched together statues in much the same way, like Frankenstein formations of different figures. It's disconcerting to see bronze melded with marble and brass melded with limestone. All the more disconcerting to see their heads turn in your direction. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Okay.
No way.
Nice.
Now, what do we want to name this session?
ACDC Death Knight. Or Death Angel, I don't know. It has to center around that event for sure.
Cartoony bullshit. Or something
Yeah. Too vague.
You know, honestly, because music was a bit of a background theme throughout this episode, even with the cartoony stuff, I kind of want to say match my tempo.
Ooh.
I like it.
All right.
But during the part where we're doing cartoony shit, the Looney Tunes in the background is the music.
I'm sorry, Megan. That was awesome. That's going to live rent free in my head. That's going to live rent free in my head all the way into the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th campaign that I run when I'm probably 80, right?
If someone wants to animate that dude ascending, that would be great.
If it can be done in like a rubber hose animation style too, to boot, and then just straight up the fucking full like book art as it ascends out of the casket, still funny as shit.
Oh.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything.
No, that was fucking awesome. Megan. I know I hand out inspiration like candy for recaps and what have you.
Give her like 5 inspiration, my dude.
No.
As important die.
She deserves it.
I'm gonna hand you an auto success
Oh.
to use wherever you choose.
Okay.
On any of your characters.
Oh yeah.
Now I know I may very well be shooting myself in the dick with that.
Explain.
Given that you're the bard, my longest standing player, and the one who loves to not press the red button so much as completely rewire the circuit board.
Kind of one of my favorite things to do.
And I fully expect to forget that I gave this to you until we're on the final boss. And you tell me something like, I want to convince them to wear a tutu and leave us the fuck alone.
I swear to God, if that's what happens.
Don't give her ideas. We'll come up with.
I will
plenty of
hope that you
bullshit.
respect me enough not to do exactly that.
Probably.
Or something similar in that vein.
But I
What?
digress. You understand the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because the things that I always set up is like, this is going to be such a crazy epic boss battle where you guys have your assholes puckering and then suddenly it just gets solved by the most outlandish shit every time.
Dun 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 dun. That's all I've got for you.
Honestly,
dun, dun,
that's the truest D&D experience I could ask for. So you get that auto
dun, dun,
success.
dun, dun, dun.